Uh,
This shit's fire.
what is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin to Gas podcast. And listen, this episode is brought to you by Bison. You guys already know what time it is. I just have one question. Are you guys a track day junkie, a street rider, somebody, even a road racer, right? Don't buy an off the rack suit. Get you a full custom suit, tailored, measure to made by Bison. Join the herd. You can get it. Listen, any colors, any patches, chest protectors, undersuit, gloves, the whole 9 yards. Go to bison.com. You can use the discount code Pin to Gas 2024 and get 10% off all your merch, hats, sweatshirts, leather suits, the whole nine. Even if you're a team or you're a business owner or just somebody that loves the sport and you'd like to get your own t-shirts made, they do that too. But listen, yeah, dude, listen, it's been an absolute honor to have Chris and Beth Parrish on the podcast. Welcome to Pin to Gas. What is going on?
Hi.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. How's your guys' day been?
It's very hot and humid here in Tennessee. She slept all day. She worked last night, and I'm just out here in the garage. That's where we're at now. Just been working all day. Typical stuff.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love it. And you know, I had my good friend Billy Pager on yesterday, and yeah, he rocked the number 128. And you had actually commented, "Hey, that's my number."
Yeah, I didn't realize that he'd had it since '93. But when did I get it? It was when I was 28 years old because, you know, my birthday is January 12th and I was 28 at the time. So that's how I come up with the 128. And I'm 47 now. So that was 19 years ago when I picked that number. Is that right? So that's when I got the number and just been rocking it ever since. And like you said, I guess I've represented it well, especially here in Moto America. And also I'm able to keep it with, like, when we go to different organizations like ARMA, CCS, even on the West Coast. I don't know all of them. CRA, they're in Minnesota too. That race organization. I've been out there a couple of times to race with it. So yeah, I've kind of hung on to it, and that's how I got it. Was my birthday and how old I was at the time. It was random, but so.
I love it, man. And you know, the time goes by so fast, right? It's like you blink and it's like, boom, 15 years. And you go back and think, just like you said, you're like, holy shit, where'd this time go, right? It's absolutely. But listen, y'all two, nice shirt, man. I know the guy at Ghetto Customs. Yeah. So if anybody out there listening, you know the legend himself too, Chris. I'm sure most of y'all's gotten body work from him, whether it was the SV650 and now the Aprilia RS660. And matter of fact, when I met Chris, I asked him, I was like, man, that body work, I've never seen that body work on the RS660 before. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely.
Well, the body work I have now that's on the bike, I made the fender, I made the rear hugger, and I made the tail. So I had the upper and lower. It was crashed. I got from Brandon and kind of put it back together, and I kind of shaped it the way I wanted it for now. But since I got back from CMP this past weekend, I got another crashed upper and lower, and I've since in the past, this week, the past 3 days, I've reshaped the whole face, and I'm starting to work on the sides, and also I'm starting to work on the radiator shroud because that motorcycle needs a bigger radiator. And if you believe it or not, the biggest radiator that you can buy for a motorcycle is for a CBR 1000 or I think it's like the 06, 05, 06. It's gigantic. And that's what I'm going to put on the thing because the thing likes to overheat. So I got to shape everything all different, and hopefully it'll be done within the next couple of weeks. And I want to take it down to Roebling and do a lot of testing here. I guess we're going in 3.5 weeks. So hopefully have some pictures and stuff then. But what I'm running now is just kind of like something that I changed and I painted real nice.
It was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful machine. And, you know, creating body work, there's a lot that goes into that, right? That forming your own, you got molds and all that. So how did you end up Ghetto Customs?
That was because of Beth.
No, it was long.
Beth, come on.
It was long before me.
No, so what I'm doing now is something I should have done, 20 years ago. I've always been in some sort of painting and bodywork and shaping fiberglass on cars. But I've raced motorcycles now for 21 years, and I've always had to buy bodywork. And the number one thing is I've always been on an SV 650, at which we all know that
we're all on brand.
Nice shirt, Daniel.
I'm not matching any of y'all. Fuck this.
I'm out. Podcast is done. Bye. I love
so while he gets a beer,
right.
The Forever SV 650, the bodywork never fit. We always had to do different things to get it to look right and stuff. And people put Gixxer bodywork on, Triumph bodywork. And, through the years, everybody's just made it work. But after the first year of Moto America, I ran hot bodies, upper and lower and tail. Well, the next year, I really wanted to make an aero fender because I'm a Moto 2 fan. I love the Moto 2 motorcycles. So then I started with the fender, and then I kind of made the upper with a bigger, ram air hole and a different shape and stuff. And then I hooked up with Andy Palmer. Andy Palmer helped me out to teach me how to do the molds and the whole process. And that's how I got started. Now I just can't stop because I like to make shit look better than what it is you can buy off the shelf. What happened to your shirt, man?
No, man, I can't match all y'all. I wore that shirt to work today.
Was it a medium? Was it too tight or something?
No, it was definitely a large, damn it.
Extra medium. Come on, Daniel.
Come on, man. Nothing. That was a Chris Parrish size special.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so I've been a huge fan of you, Chris, for a long time. No bullshit. I followed you, watched you in Moto America. All your bikes have been absolutely amazing. All the body work, I'm like, holy shit, look at this SV. It's nothing that I've ever even seen or even could dream that an SV could look like. And you create these masterpieces with the body work, right? Although it's absolutely amazing. So listen, how did you get into racing to begin with? And even before you answer that, Chris, what started your journey in two wheels?
It's kind of funny. Well, so as a kid, I was always into lowriders. And here on the East Coast, it wasn't like it was on the West Coast or like it is still. So I would always just read magazines. I had a little Honda Civic, had wire wheels and hydraulics and all the paint jobs that I can put on it. And then the first motorcycle I bought I was 21 years old. A buddy of mine taught me into buying one. It was a 1991 Kawasaki ZX6. It was junk, and it was cheap. And me, I'll take it apart and chrome the frame, chrome the wheels, do all kinds of crazy candy paint, glitter, flake, all that stuff. And I rode it around for a couple of years and kind of figured that it sucked. I just didn't like it no more. And then I was able to buy a 99 R6 and didn't do anything to it. Put some suspension on it. And then Daniel knows, Timmy and all those guys taught me into going to a track day out at Talladega. And all I had was a helmet. And so Timmy took me down to America's Motorsports? Is that there in Rivergate?
Oh, it's still there.
they had a suit hanging, and it had been there for years. And I think I got it for like $250, but I fit into it because I was small enough. And I think Russell or somebody had some boots and a pair of gloves. I borrowed everything and took me to a track day. And that was in 2002, I believe. And went to a few more track days after that. Then the next year, like that February, we went racing. Russell took me racing, Russell Stoddard and Eric Reed.
I forgot he was at the beginning with you guys.
Eric Reed.
Good old Eric.
He's still around.
Yep.
And took me to Talladega, got me signed up. This was even before transponders came around. And started racing that year. I hit a handful of races that year in 2003. And then 2004, I stayed novice and kind of traveled around doing the national stuff. And racing with Brandon Parrish, out of all people. Him and I were novices, battling for first and second in the championship. And then there was a couple rounds I couldn't go to. He ended up winning. But I did get my first national first place in Nashville Speedway here against Brandon Parrish. I beat him. So that was awesome. That was, my family was there and everybody. Beth wasn't. I don't know, were we like 10?
What year was that?
1928, right?
I was going to get an 18 because I may have been corner working that race.
You may have.
I may have.
Sure your parents were. If they
It
were
was probably just me and Dad, yeah.
So that was 2004. Then 2005, we switched to the SVs, and it's been like that everywhere since.
Absolutely. That's absolutely awesome. And listen, we got Billy Pedro actually says 128 is my old pager code, means I'm adorable. And then he says, hi Chris, hi Beth. And Matt Hall says, the man, the myth, the legend. Absolutely, Matt. Chris is absolutely. So listen, I got a question. How did you and Beth meet? I met my wife on a blind date. Buddy I went to I used to work with. He's like, man, my girlfriend's got this girl you want to meet, and I put it off for a while, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then we ended up meeting, and yeah, that's it. So
I mean, we had mutual friends really when we hung out for a while before we actually started dating. We knew each other for a good while. So
nice. So Beth, do you ride at all?
Look,
do you ride at all? Do you ride motorcycles too?
No, I don't even drive the scooter.
The electric scooter she's got is adorable.
Now, yes, that one I'm a pro at.
Yes,
little pink scooter, which isn't working right now. It got left out in the rain, and I think like a board or something is. Yeah. We got to replace some parts.
Yeah.
But no, we had a mutual friend, and we all went out a couple of times, and she was. I think you were going through a divorce. Well, not a divorce, but a breakup.
Yes.
At the time that we first met, and then we chatted through Facebook Messenger for a little while, and then she finally agreed to hang out with me out of all nights, New Year's Eve, at one of the local shithole bars down the road. And,
the JB's?
The Rusty Nail.
The Rusty Nail.
Oh, no. That is a shithole.
Another Rusty Nail around here.
That is a shithole.
I love it. So how did you and Daniel end up meeting? How'd you guys meet Daniel?
Dude, I'll tell this story. I've been a quarter marshal for fucking ever. I mean, God, 2000s when I started corner working cars. And so Dad ended up working, like me and Dad ended up going down to like the first moto, like it was AMA Superbike back then, but we ended up going down to the first one they had at Barber. And we looked at each other on the way home and we're like, we're not working cars anymore. The cars suck. So ended up corner work in Nashville. And so Chris will probably remember this, but I remember it pretty vividly just from the fact that, it is what it is. There was this whole crew of guys that all had the Ghetto Custom stuff on the side of their bikes. And there was like 5 of them. 5 or 6 guys all in the same crew and everything. They all rode together. I'm like, and they're all like, oh yeah, they're all live in Nashville. I'm like, who are these guys? And then you're like, oh, God bless every last one of you bastards are way too quick. Like way too damn fast. Like, okay, I'm going to brag on Chris a little bit. They were putting him in the 600cc practice groups at Nashville because he was too damn fast for the SV guys. It was him and Tim Birdsong for years doing that shit. So I'm a corner worker. I'll just come up and like say hi, good race or whatever. But it was just one of those things where I think you walked into Castle or something, and we struck up a conversation. You're like, "Oh shit!" And then, I bounced around to various dealerships, and we tried to get an XR 1200 thing going for you there for a little bit, but that fell fucking through.
Yeah, we hit one of the Harley places around here, and they didn't bite.
No, at all.
Well, shame on them. Look what they left out on, right? I mean,
oh well, hell, the XR 1200, the same thing now. It's like the only people that were paying road racing were Harleys back then.
Yeah,
and then it's just we were doing the Wingman's thing, and we sponsored Chris. We've been sponsoring him since he did it, and won a championship. And there's a great picture of me acting like a jackass going through. It's like the beard's down to here and everything else, but like
hair's down to here.
Yeah, his hair's down to about the same, a little bit lower, but. I mean, it's just been like hell, Chris. I've got Chris's body work on my race bike and just bouncing around. I'm just like the little kid going, "Hey, wait, hey, I'm in the race too, guys. Wait."
Oh, that's awesome. Wait on me.
Yeah, my first race, he came through and lapped me at Talladega, and he reached it. I'm going through turn 1, and we both go like, "Oh, there's Chris," and he's dragging his hand on the ground. I'm like, "Fuck are you doing?" And then he comes back. He's like, "Yeah, if you'd been a little bit further, like a little bit narrower into the corner, I'd have smacked you on the ass." I was like, I'd have fallen off laughing way too damn hard. Like, motherfucker. But
it's always the fun thing to do when you give it the squishy,
Oh, yeah.
I've done that during endurance. Just because during endurance, you're out there for, 80, 90 minutes, you're bored. You just, if you get close to anybody, it's just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey.
Nice ass. Wham! Come on, let's go.
Are you bored as I am?
Yeah. Well, now that Joe's got him racing Groms, we're probably all going to start doing that bullshit. He's going to start messing with us.
I suggest the Grom racing. I do. That's
nice.
That's the number one. It's the cheapest, and it's the funnest thing in road racing right now. Well, I mean, for me at least.
Yeah. I haven't told you this, Chris, but I told Caleb after that race that we had down at Tally. I'm like, "Yeah, I got third." He goes, "Where did Parrish finish?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Did you beat Parrish?" I go, "I'm not going to say that I didn't, but his bike didn't finish." He goes, "We're not going to say that. You beat Chris Parrish." I'm like, "Shut up, man." But anyway.
Yeah, the bike broke. It almost broke again at CMP. Me and Joe were running. It's a short track, right? So me and Joe, and I looked at the lap times. I was like, "There's no way." We were doing like minute 7s. And the whole third place guy was doing minute 12s.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's insane that we were doing. Yeah. And you can't really lean them too far because it's the foot peg and then you crash.
Yeah. Foot peg crash. Like, well, I mean, you don't have to walk that far to pick them up, thankfully. But I'll agree with Chris. That's the most fun I've had racing anything on two wheels in a long time. There was like 6 of us on top of each other. Joe and some other guy took off. But
I love it.
There was literally, it's 6 guys all fighting for like 2 inches of pavement. And it was just, you're looking around. Like, I've never been like shoulder to shoulder with anybody going through Farmhouse, which is sketchy on big bikes, but on a Grom, you're like, all right, whatever. But yeah, it was fun.
So that's something I'm in the market. Like, I'm either going to buy a Grom or a Z125 or that new CF Moto, the Papio, I think is what they call it. Have you seen that?
They look cool.
Sweet. Yeah, that thing's sweet, man. 6-speed transmission, dual piston front caliper, all that snazzy jazz. But honestly, at the end of the day, man, I'm probably going to end up getting me a Grom just because it's a Honda. I mean, let's just be honest, right? They're fucking bulletproof.
Well, there's organizations out there now that you can race with. Like, there's 2 around here. Well, the main one is like Race TN. Yeah. And like even this weekend, they're having a flat track racing. It's all minis and 4-wheelers. They're having flat track racing, just like 45 minutes south of her parents' house. It's like 45 minutes from here in Sparta.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, Joe goes, and he's going this weekend, and he says that it's packed. There's just like little bikes everywhere and little 4-wheelers. So there's, small bike organizations. Like they do like what is the organization does it down at Barber at the whatever track?
Oh, it's a Southeast Mini Moto. Southeast Mini Moto.
Yeah.
Scotty's got a hand in that.
Yeah. So get a Grom, man, and go race and get you a suit and everything.
Dude, I got one coming, obviously by Bison, and I can't wait. There's only been a couple people that's seen it, and Daniel's one of them. So I can't wait. Yes, I'm super stoked. It's my first full custom suit, and yeah, so I got a 03 RC51, and man, I'm gonna sell it. And I've been thinking a lot about it. It's a bike I always wanted, a dream bike, right? Let's just be honest. I know, but listen, I need new equipment for the podcast, and that's the main reason why I'm doing it. I need a new laptop. I need to get some things in order to get to the next level. I wouldn't sell it, but the job I was at for 8 years that went out of business, so I got another job and I took kind of a massive pay cut because I had to, right? So I don't have the extra money that I used to have, so it's one of those being adulting things, right?
Yeah.
Sure. But I was. Chris is like, yeah, whatever. Keep the RC51. What the fuck are you doing?
Keep it. It makes you happy, man. No, I've been working for myself for 8 years now, and I always worked for the man, on a budget, but it was always, paint work and extra work that I had to do to go racing. So, just do whatever.
Yeah. Do it, get it done. But I really want one, man, because a lot of my friends, a couple of them have them, and it just looks like so much fun. Like you said, right? You can
get the Grom. Don't mess with the Cowie. Cowies are junk.
I would definitely go for the Grom for sure.
Okay. Get the Grom.
All right.
Now there was one kid that rides a Kawasaki, and it's a little bit slower than the Grom.
Yeah. It's not good. Like that's Daniel. That's Beresford. He and I were talking about it.
The green one.
Oh no, that's Cora's brother.
Core's brother, yeah.
Yeah, Core's brother. He does pretty good on it. He also weighs about as much as my left leg. So, yeah. He's about that big around. Like sweet kid, but yeah, no.
He said, yeah, no, absolutely not. And listen, we got Daniel Boocook up in the house. He said, what is up, guys? Yeah. Old Daniel.
Daniel's a cool guy. I met him the first time, even though he's bought parts from me, and I helped him build his endurance bike for this year. I met him down at CMP, and actually I rode down to CMP just to deliver Brandon's bodywork and all kinds of other parts, and just to get out of the garage. And I brought all my stuff with me, my helmet, my suit, and everything, just in case. And then Daniel asked me, he's like, you want to ride last minute? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I ended up riding for his team and helped him out. It was pretty fun. Glad he asked me, because it was better than standing around. I was able to help them and ride an hour. Asked me
and have some fun.
Put down some pretty decent lap times.
Nice. So, Beth, you don't ride at all?
No.
Like you never had any intentions? Like, hey, let me jump on the Grom.
No, I'm a great spectator.
No, you're not. You are a horrible spectator.
This is probably
No, you're not. You can't. Don't you bullshit people. Hell no. I love you.
I don't really even watch. So Daniel's
terrible spectator.
The truth comes out.
No, Beth knows her limits.
I know. I'm giving her shit.
Like my little Honda Element outside's a 5-speed, and she refuses to learn how to drive that thing too.
Beth.
Beth.
Listen, it's okay, Beth, because my wife, I had a Honda Accord. It was actually a 6-speed, and my wife was pregnant at the time, and I was like, hey, I want to learn how to drive it. And I was like, okay. She got in it literally 5 minutes, and she looked at me, she says, fuck it, I'm done. And take me back. I was like, okay. So yeah, that's how that went with me and my wife.
Yeah.
Straight up, fuck it, I'm done. I'm out. Drop me off. You can have this thing. Yeah. So, but she does want to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So I figure a Grom would be perfect too, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, throw her on it. And
I can't even get her to learn how to ride the Zuma. And the Zuma is the thing.
Beth, me and you got to have a talk when I see you guys next. I'm pulling you to the side. Me and you're going to have a conversation. Yeah, absolutely. So are you guys going to be at Mid-Ohio?
The AMA days, yeah. That's after Roebling, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what, 5-6 weeks?
I think it's
later?
August 15th.
Oh, no, you're talking Moto America.
Moto America, yeah.
No. Not Moto. Twins don't go to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't.
Mid-Ohio.
That's right. They skipped that.
Yeah, we didn't go to Brainerd this weekend because it's too far away. I don't have a dog in the fight, and necessarily don't really like that track anyways. And then, like I said, Twins don't go to Mid Ohio, but I am going to take my bike to Mid Ohio. I want to ride it there for the AMA days, vintage days. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, that's a couple of weeks. That's like a month and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, I've only ridden that track once, which was a couple of years ago, and was able to got there like Friday and like Saturday morning, was able to do like a couple rounds of practice, and I did one race and it started raining. So the whole weekend was shut down.
Yeah.
So ended up just like hang out, drink some beers, and came back home Sunday.
Yeah. And it's even a bad, there's no scenery there. It's like you got woods, you're in a racetrack. Like, what the fuck?
I tried to borrow a scooter and like go around, like, where all the spectators are, all that mess to see it, but it was so muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, screw this.
Yeah.
But that
like Jersey when it rains.
The track is really fun. I'm excited to go back.
I've never been. I want to go. So Mark Sherman, you guys know Sherman from CFE. Yeah, so he's going to be out there. He's like, man, you should come. It's only 6 hours from me, I think.
Yeah.
Mid Ohio is. It's not that far. So I'm going to make that, and then Jersey at the end of the year.
Jersey, yeah, we don't go to Jersey neither. The only one we got left besides Brainerd is Coda, but we're going to Coda for sure. Never been there.
Oh, dude, it's absolutely amazing. You're going to love it. I've been to Coda for the past 7 years straight for the MotoGP race, of course, right? Yeah, it's a beautiful track, beautiful layout. City's nice. Outside of Austin is pure shit, right?
Yeah, it's
ghetto fabulous. Yeah,
it's
big
bad.
time. Everything's bigger and better in Texas. Yeah, the outskirts is bigger and better shit too. Facts. But listen, it is. It's absolutely horrible, right? But dude, the best advice I have, the racetrack's amazing. You're gonna absolutely love it. It's just like anything. You see it on TV, you play it on PS5 or whatever, right? The how hilly it is and the angulations and all that, you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is awesome, right? But when you go out right outside, you leave the track, there's a whole bunch of little taco trucks. You got to stop by the taco trucks. It's absolutely the best. Absolutely. And Billy says Billy can give you guys good advice on where to eat too.
Right, he's from around there.
Yeah, he's in Texas right now. Yeah, absolutely. And then Daniel Bucook says, was glad to have you. That's awesome. Billy says, Coda is my backyard. I know, Billy. I'm jealous. How awesome would that be? Because it's really nice, like I said, but outside of Austin, it's total shithole. But you're gonna love it. So coming from the SV to the Aprilia, why did you choose the Aprilia?
Well,
you got to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take it back.
No, so I rode the SV for as long as I can, for as long as it was competitive. And even the last time I rode it was in 21 or 22 when Ulrich lent me an engine. And I was able to get on the podium a couple of times still with it. And then I also, one of those years I was able to ride Andy Palmer's bike, and I won Barber on his bike. And so then like the next year that was 20. In 20, me and Andy agreed to work together on his Yamaha, and it, just started riding that thing at the pace that we were going. It was working pretty well. Then once we got a little bit faster, like we just couldn't get it to turn. And then we started having engine problems. So me and Andy, we split up that year. And so after the SV, I bought my own Yamaha. I actually traded my SV for an FZ07. And then I brought it home and, did all of my stuff to it, made all of my own body work. And even Chuck Blackman, Jackson's daddy, did a lot of helping to get that bike set up for me. And we communicated back and forth. And I wouldn't be on the racetrack if it wasn't for him on a proper motorcycle. But after building a proper engine to get almost 100 horsepower out of it, the front end became obsolete for me. Like I couldn't get it to steer. Like the bike was fast. I mean, like some of the times I would get like the fastest trap speeds on some of the sessions. But I couldn't get it to turn, and I still don't really know whether I had the wrong forks, wrong triples, whatever. I just couldn't get it to turn. It chattered all the time. It always felt like it wanted to crash. I would come in, I would cuss at it, I hated the thing. I wanted to kick it over. I wanted to take it out in the driveway and set it on fire. Just 2 years of hell on that thing. And I finally, I brought it back home after I was tired of it. I took the fast engine out, I put a stock engine back in it, and I sold it as cheap as I could sell it. And I didn't even care how much money I lost on it. I just let it go. And the kid that got it, he seems to like it. And he rode, and he actually came back and he bought the wheels and the brakes, all the expensive parts that I took off of it. So I got a little bit of my money back. And then out of the blue, I don't know if y'all know Robert Fisher down in Florida, Roaring Toys. I called him. I gave him a phone call, and I asked him. He had one for sale, an RS660 for sale. It had a broken tab on the frame or something. And he told me, he's like, no, I've already sold that thing. He's like, but you know what? I got one on the way here, and right now it's in Atlanta. It's just sitting there. It's waiting on my guys to go get it, and they're actually on their way to go get it. And he says, if you want it, we got to make the deal right now. We're on the phone. I was like, well, all right, well, I'll take it. So I left the next day and down in Atlanta, looked at it and brought it back home. It wouldn't start. It had a key issue because it was crashed and a couple other little things, but it ended up getting it started. And I paid it really cheap. And it sat in I actually pushed it back into the trailer, and it sat in the trailer from September to January. I didn't even touch it, didn't even look at it. I had zero plans to build it. I actually just bought it because I wanted to build bodywork and I wanted to sell it and stuff, put my style on it and everything. But what took me to build the thing is Freddie, that works for Matt Spicer, ended up calling me, and he was asking me lots of stuff about fiberglass and molding and everything. And him and I worked back and forth on that for like a couple of weeks. And then randomly asked me, he's like, you going to build that Aprilia? And I was like, well, I haven't thought about it. He's like, well, I'll help you if you want to. And then since then, I pulled it out of the trailer, and first thing I did was took the engine out of it, and I sent parts to Millennium, and they did the headwork, and I started just buying parts because I still had the money from the Yamaha. And then she's like, well, are we going to race it? And I says, well, I guess so. We spent a lot of money on it.
Let's go, Beth. And I love it. We going to race it again or what? You're like, yeah, let's go.
I roll into Talladega, and I'm like, what is that? What are you doing?
It did. It come out of the blue. I didn't have, well, I did. Actually, I made the tail, and I made a couple of parts for it out of the blue, and showed up at Talladega. And the next weekend was at Road Atlanta. And at Talladega, I was testing it, and I was doing really good with it, and I gelled with it pretty good. But Atlanta, we had engine problems, just the tuning and spark plugs, and I just didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of threw it together because nobody would really help me. Nobody would give me all the answers and the way to tune it and the way to build it and stuff. I just kind of put it together the way I knew. But since then, I've learned, and I'll build a monster for Coda, and then for next year if we go racing. So it's just kind of snowballed from there. Now it's here in the garage, and I've got the upper tour part, and I've already got like the face entirely changed, and I'm just gonna make it work just like I normally do. I make shit work. And like I said, no help. And I've always done things by myself because nobody really wants to help me. And even if they do, it seems like there's some sort of politics to it, and I try to repay people, or I try to pay things. Sometimes it just kind of just really doesn't work out in my favor sometimes, even though, like I said, Chuck Blackman helped me a lot, and me and him have worked out great deals, and he's one of the best ones that's helped me. And back in the day, Mike used to help me on the SV, and he was a real good guy on that stuff. But here on the Aprilias, he's a little closed mouth, and he's a little shut off. He don't want to help me. But that's all right. I'll figure it out like I normally do. And hopefully I'll be back up front again.
Oh, absolutely. You will.
Oh, you'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely. The legend. Yes, dude. You'll absolutely be there. And speaking of Jackson Blackman and Chuck, they're friends of mine too. And I actually met them in Jersey last year. And that's when Jackson had that crash right there at the beginning of the Twins Cup race. I was standing right there when it happened. But yeah, ever since there's there's people you meet that's just open arms, loving people, and stop to talk to you. Any question I had about the bike, he was like, "Oh yeah, I made this, I made that, I fabricated this, and we did this." I was like, "Well, shit, what didn't you do to this thing?" Right? Like you pretty much did it all. Yeah, so it's good to have people like that in your corner for sure. It's yeah, and
I'm definitely always the first one to help anybody that needs stuff from me, especially like when it comes to paintwork, bodywork, last minute. I mean, Ulrich knows that as much as I do for him, and it's the politics of the engine build and the tune that I struggle with, because I don't know much about any of this stuff. I can assemble an engine, but like get the right recipe to make it fast it's always a guessing game, and nobody gives you that information. So I guess, and sometimes I get it right. Even though Brandon helped me and a couple other people, even Chuck too, I was able to get the recipe for the Yamaha, and that thing was fast. I loved how fast that thing was. A lot of torque, but I just couldn't get it to turn. But the Aprilia is the exact opposite. It rides really good, and it's favorable like the SV, and it's forgivable. If you mess up, it doesn't feel like it wants to like slam you on the pavement and all that mess. But the engine situation is, if you believe it or not, it's like riding a 400. Like it doesn't have a whole lot of power down low. You got to keep its neck ring all the time, and it's just a little hard to get used to, but I'll figure it out.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Especially like I was going to say, I've always a huge fan of the SV650s. I always wanted one. It was a great motorcycle. It handled well. It was fast. They had billion parts for it. And the longevity of it, to me, it was one of the best bikes Suzuki's probably made. As far as that goes, just the build quality, how cheap it was off the showroom floor, because you can buy them brand new. Back then was like $4,200, I think, something like that, right? And it's a proper weapon, especially in the hands of the legend Chris Parrish. And
hell, they had contingency money in that damn thing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That all that shit's gone now.
Suzuki didn't have any money, so
that's a fact, right?
Yeah, too bad they took it all away. Suzuki took all the money away.
Yeah, they don't have any money.
All of the stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Give it a couple of years once Toyota gets past paying for the Indian Dieselgate, which is hilarious to me. As bad as their air quality is, you're worried about diesel pollution. Okay,
right.
But once Toyota gets done paying for that, they'll hopefully send Suzuki some money. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I miss Suzuki. I mean, everybody does. That's something we need back in the paddock. We need Kawasaki. We need Suzuki. We need all the manufacturers back in. And I just said this the other day. The only factory teams we have in Moto America, in my opinion, is Harley Davidson and Indian.
Yeah,
they're the full factory team. That's it. Warhorse Ducatis, in my opinion, is the third most factory team as far as superbike goes. Just because they get help straight from Ducati course. You see Paulo Ciabatti come out here, but you don't see Lynn Jarvis ever come out here for attack, right? I'm just using that as a reference. I'm not saying that they don't get help, but it's not visual. You don't see it like you do with, Ducati, of course. So Matt Hall says, he says Twins Cup is going towards the new 8R and the 660. Yeah, everything's changing. The 600, 600 Super Sport's not 600 Super Sport no more, right? Let's just be honest. You got Ducati 959s and Gixxer 750s. It's
I'm just glad I'm not on the board of making decisions for all that stuff.
You ain't lying. Crazy. Keep that shit.
Right. So let me ask you this, Chris.
Make anybody that mad.
What would you change? If you could change, what would you change?
Well, I don't know. It just, like I said, it's a 600 class, and it's I understand that the R6 has gone away, but I that's like I just said. I'm glad I'm not on the board to make decisions. I can't answer your question, to be honest with you.
Okay. No, you're good.
I don't want to answer your question.
He said at least not on air, but when we get off air, yeah, absolutely, I will. Listen, there's a lot to change, right? I agree with you. It's a 600 should be a 600 class, not. I mean, that's just my opinion. So yeah, it's absolutely. And
Yeah,
Matt Hall says
manufacturers
attack
are-
brisket. Go ahead. Sorry. Go
I'll
ahead,
say
Chris.
just the manufacturers have brought out so many different motorcycles and stuff that it's hard to make classes. And even we were talking with I was talking to Stick Boy about even we're changing classes and stuff. Like you just got to start modernizing things, and I guess that's what Moto America's having to do. And but you still got to have classes for the old bikes, and some of those old guys still he got his 03 bike there.
Like, I mean,
I don't know. I don't honestly. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but they're doing all right with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Daniel. Sorry.
They're going to relegate all this old SV, all the old SV dorks back into V7 medium weight and shit. All vintage stuff.
Yeah, the beloved SV is in a vintage class now.
Yeah. Like
That's crazy.
Mine will be 20 years old next year in like 6 months. That's the weirdest thing. It's like, how am I racing a 20-year-old motorcycle? That just doesn't make. Am I my dad now? What are we doing? Like, come on.
Because it's cheap and fun.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's why we do it. I love it. But it's just like you don't expect like the bike that I grew up riding on. And I put 75,000 miles on a street one, and now I've got the race one. It's like you don't expect this thing to be. Oh, and all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, this thing's vintage. I'm vintage. Oh God, my back hurts. God, I am vintage now. Shit.
My wrist, my neck, my back. Oh shit, I need to go see the chiropractor, right? Yeah, absolutely, right, babe. Will you rub my back? Hell no. Okay, thank you. I love you too, right? Yeah, but will you rub mine? Hell no. Yeah,
no. Anyway,
absolutely not. Yeah. So Daniel says just picked up a freshly painted set of bodywork from Chris. Did a killer job for a fair price. Absolutely. And he also says it's just as confusing as society now. And that's a fact. As far as the 600 class, you're like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? It's yeah. But listen, the racing this year's been good all across the board, right? From the TT to BSB, World Superbike, MotoGP, and all that stuff. So it's times is changing. I miss the old days, right? I was just having this conversation with a buddy of mine, Mark, and I was like, dude, I would love to see a brand new ZX7RR. Think about that, right? Or Daniel's like, hell no, dude. I would absolutely bring back the old colors, the purples and the pinks.
They've got the old colors on the new bikes. No, I don't want a 750.
It's not the same.
They're going to sell 3 of them, and then I'm going to have to sit there and hear somebody bitch and moan about how they've crashed it now. And now I'll be like, well, I got somebody that can fix it, but he ain't going to want to deal with it either. So no, just get it.
No, I'm talking about brand new 2027.
That's what I'm saying. No, I don't want any part of that shit. No,
yes, you do. Stop lying, Daniel.
No, absolutely.
Bring back all the old bodywork, the old style
there you
stuff.
Go. Yeah, I want round headlights.
The old ZX7 stuff was awesome.
Yeah, the pig eye headlights. Yes,
yes, absolutely. That's always been one of my favorite bikes. Is ZX7RR. They're absolutely beautiful machines, So yeah, it's yeah, absolutely amazing. So Chris, tell me about your season last year in 2023. After you drink that jet fuel.
Jet fuel.
Well, that was with the Yamaha that I wanted to set on fire.
So I've had a lot of fun conversations about that Yamaha.
Well, I mean, I took it to Daytona and it was fast, and it in the trap speeds and everything, it was able to keep up. But like I said, I just couldn't get it to turn, and but we stuck with it, and we ended up going to. I did really well at Barber on it. I did the fastest lap ever at Barber for me was a 30.4. And
so
did well at Atlanta, but once we got out to the West Coast, it kind of just fell off. Like I was trying to change a bunch of things, and me and Joe worked on that thing, and I just never could gel with it. We changed the lower triple to a little bit thicker one, and we changed a lot of geometry stuff, and I don't know. It was kind of fun because we traveled a lot.
That was, yes.
But I learned a lot of new cuss words on that motorcycle.
I love it. I love it. And Beth, I'm sure you probably learned some new cuss words on that one too, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Beth's a nurse. She knows more than Chris does. Like let's be honest
right?
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure her watching me being frustrated with it. Like a lot of times it wasn't fun. You know, there were like even we were at Laguna Seca for the second race, and I was just sitting in the door of the trailer ready to go, and she's like, "Come on now, you gotta get ready to go and stuff." I'm like, I really don't want to race it. That's how bad it was.
It really was not fun.
Yeah. Well, you made him do it, right? You dangled the carrot in front of him and said, "You gotta go. Let's get it done." You know, yeah. I love it, Beth. I love it. But listen, I'm serious, Beth. When I see you again, me and you gonna have a little talk. You're gonna get on that scooter. We're gonna go for a ride. She's like, yeah, whatever. Matt Hall says, daggone, a 30 on a twin is hauling ass. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That's somebody who's been
ridiculous.
lapped by somebody doing 30s. Yeah, 30s is nuts.
Absolutely, it is. And you know what you do, Beth, is a nurse. My wife worked at Crayon Hospital for 11 years, and she's actually at the VA now. But she wasn't a nurse. She did the trays for surgery, whatever that was called. And she used to be like, "Oh, check this out," and she'd show me that shit, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. And she likes all that shit. She's like, I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, oh, check this out. Surgery. Look at the kidney and all that. I'm like, no. Can we watch Star Wars or something? Play some video games? Yeah, forget that. Are you like that, Beth? You like all that stuff too?
Oh yeah. You have to be a nurse.
Yeah, she does. See, she doesn't talk that much. She's not animated like
Put
Daniel
Michael Hill in front of her. Where's Michael Hill when you need him?
Right. Where is Michael Hill at?
She comes, yeah. Mike will get her to talk for sure. No, she comes home and tells stories of some of the, not so much gore. She doesn't do surgery and stuff. She's on the observation floor, so she just kind of gets.
And I get them after surgery.
After surgery, or if they're just wanting pain medicine, or just like, or psych patients and things like that. So, but she'll deal with people shitting on themselves, which is she's a far better person than all of us to take care of people like that.
Facts.
Oh, Lord, that's crazy.
Facts.
She's like Towley. She walks into the room. Anybody want to get high? So
I got everything you need. Your back hurts, no problem. Your head hurts, I got that too. Your toes broke, check this out. Come and see me at Ghetto Customs. Yeah,
I got a pretty kick-ass first aid kit.
There we go.
Facts, right? I love it. That's good stuff.
But typically, like her hospital is downtown Nashville, and they get what you call frequent flyers that always comes in, and that's all they really want. They just want to get high. And all you got to do is walk into a hospital and say, "Oh, I got heart pains, I got chest pains," or something like that. And they go ahead and admit you, and they go to her floor, and she gives them pain medicine, whatever they want. So if anybody out there, if you want to get high one night at a hospital, go in and say, "Ow,
Having a
Oh, my heart, my neck, my back. I need to go see Beth. Take me to Beth. Nashville Hospital. Let's go.
Oh God.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm
Bring
also
her
charged
beer while you're
nurse, so
there.
I can kick you out as well.
Well, that's no fun.
Oh, I'm
came
sure
here to
there's
party
times
with
you
you,
have
and
to-
you're
Yeah,
kicking
right.
us out.
We're here to
What
party.
It'd be nice. That's all.
She's like, here, take 2 of these. I'll see you tomorrow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's man.
oh
That's,
God, okay."
right. You taught me into it one more time. Here it is. Yeah. And I'm sure you know. So, when I had my surgery, my first time, I'll say, I remember the nurse was like, "You either going to get up after surgery and say, 'Hey, I want to get the hell out of here,' or you're going to be groggy and want to sleep and hang out." I remember I opened my eyes and I was like, "Can I go now?" And I had to like go to the bathroom and blah blah blah. And then obviously they let me go, but they gave me some pain medicine and come home, and my wife's like, I'm the type, I don't like to take Advil, Tylenol, none of that shit. I want to be just all natural. If I got a headache, I drink water, stuff like that. If I have pain, I just deal with it. But my wife's like, listen, you got to take one, this and that. And I was like, I don't want to take it, so she'll trick me. She'll crush it up, put it in my water. And of course, as soon as I taste it, I'm like, you asshole. Like, I already know what you did, right? Yeah, facts. So after one or two that I had, I flushed them down the toilet, and she was a little mad. She's like, what'd you do that for? I said, I told you I don't want them. I don't even want them near me or in the house. Just get rid of them. So yeah, it's
yeah. Well, that's what she says. Like most people that come in that have surgery, or like normal people like us, broken arm or whatever, and they have to stay there overnight. They don't want pain medicine. They just give me something to let me go to sleep, and then some ibuprofen or something. But it's always the homeless people or the junkies that come in that want the Dilaudid and all that cool shit.
He said all the cool shit.
I don't see how she's even nice to those people, but she is. Somehow she is, and deals with them.
Yeah, well, she's got to in the profession she's in, and I applaud you, Beth, for what you do. It's yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, I don't never have to see you in the hospital.
Yeah, when it comes to things like that, she's a much better person than all of us.
Yeah,
100%
agreements there.
Yeah, from everybody across the board. So I got my buddy Alan Grayson. Evening from Morocco. What is going on, man? He's actually lives in the UK. What are you doing in Morocco, mate?
That's definitely not across the parking lot.
No, it's not across the pond. Pond for us. Yeah. So listen, Chris, would you ever go over there and race like in BSB or anything like that?
Yeah, if there's a twins class, there's a bike available for sure. Now there's a guy I've been chatting with in Australia. I would like to go over there and race with those guys. I mean, the round trip plane ticket's insane. I'd have to not race like a couple weekends here to go over there. But yeah, for sure, I would love to go do that.
They do have a class in BSB now. They're running. It's a little bit more open. They're letting that 660 Daytona in.
Yeah.
But they've got it really. They're running running the 660, the R7, the 8R.
And what I like about those guys over there is that the bikes, the classes are all stock, or mostly stock. It's not the insane super bike rules that we have here that we're spending, stupid amounts of money to build these motorcycles. Like, and even when like this twins class started, we were like, just keep it stock, hire us a couple of people to like regulate the class, keep it stock. And I love the way that they're doing it over there. Like even the class that Caleb went over there and raced on the R7 Cup, it was a completely stock motorcycle. And I learned all that talking with her daddy about it. And I would just much rather have that kind of stuff for sure than because the superbike stuff, like I just explained earlier, like trying to find the recipe for like a fast engine, it's hard to do because nobody's really helping you do it unless, you're on or you buy into a ride, into somebody already build it for you, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
But the way they're doing it over there is so much better, so much cheaper. It's more equal. It's about the rider,
It is. Everybody knows BSB is my favorite race organization in the world. I talk about it all the time, right?
We do.
And Chris, it's not because I think that the tracks are better, the riders are better. Of course, they do have Cadwell Park. No bullshit, right? But
take a shot. That's the drinking game. Every time he says something about BSB and Cadwell Park, take a shot.
Yeah, dude, listen, that's going to be our new game, Daniel. I'm glad you brought that up. Shot, right? Yeah. So, they're super bikes. They don't run the electronics on them that everybody else has. So it's old school, proper way of racing. So they're racing 230, 40 horsepower motorcycles with no electronic assist, which is absolutely fucking mental, right? That's why I love BSB. He said that's dumb. No, that's absolutely awesome is what it is, right? Let's just be honest.
So dumb. I want some traction control if it's wet and I'm riding a fucking 240 horsepower motorcycle. I would like some traction control, please. Thank you.
It's called rain tires on your right wrist, baby. That's what it is.
I'm not trying to exactly what it is. To the moon.
Chris agrees. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Somebody was asking me over the weekend about like the Aprilia having, traction control and wheel control and all that stuff. It's all turned off on my bike. number one, I don't know how to adjust it, and number two, it's just I'm old school, man.
I'm not arguing whether or not, like on a 100 horsepower motorcycle, it's worth it. I'm worried about a 240 horsepower motorcycle turning me into a human trebuchet, and I end up going to see Beth for 3 weeks. Like, let's not.
Yeah, but you'll get the good stuff, man.
I'm not wearing a cape in my leathers. I'm not doing it.
That's awesome.
I'm not playing that game.
I love
but
it.
You would try it once at least, right?
Yeah. I do it once, and then I go, no, thank you. I would like 100 horsepower, please.
Can you take away 130 of these and give it back to me, please? Yeah.
I would like 100 horsepower and a 180, please. Not 240 and a 215. No. I'll ride it once. I mean, okay. In the rain, once. If it's dry, sure. I'll make that bike be mad at me and be like, what the fuck is that? Come on. Like,
right?
Sissy, let's go.
Oh, great. Tubby's back. Here we go.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love it.
This fat dude off of my back. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Right? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's awesome. Alan actually said, a holiday, buddy, watching the TT by the pool, Mega TLS BSB tomorrow. I know. Absolutely. I can't wait.
Women's World Cup, Women's World Championship tomorrow too.
At World Superbike, yeah, dude. There's a lot of racing going on. We got MotoGP, World Superbike, BSB, Moto America,
MotoGP.
No, it's next weekend.
2 weeks.
Where do you guys watch World Superbike at?
I pay for the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like
I watch the highlights on YouTube.
So, but I'm that nerd, Chris. Like I don't watch any other TV except for like me and my son watch like Star Wars. Me and my wife, we have certain series we'll watch or whatever, but other than that, I'm fucking just road racing. That's it. That's all I watch. So I don't have cable. I got Netflix and Disney Plus, and that's it. Besides my Moto America, MotoGP, BSB's free. Bennett'sBritishSuperbikes.com. It's all free. I pay for the TT. And ASBK I watch on YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, it's but did you guys watch
I don't really watch. I didn't really watch any of it. And also, I don't really watch World Superbike. I just catch the highlights every once in a while that's on social media. But I follow MotoGP pretty good, and of course, Moto America.
Well, yeah, I mean, you follow Moto America, you kind of have a tendency to be on there's like a blue stack of people on that side of there, and you have a tendency to be in there. So yeah,
right. You are part of Moto America. What are you talking about? The legend, dude. No doubt.
Yeah, it's like it's on that side.
Right. Yeah, it's right there. There it is, right there. I see it. Yeah.
Trying to figure out where the camera is on this iPad. It's like, what the fuck?
And then it's backwards. Like I'll point to. I'm like, it's over here. Shit, no, it's not.
It's
you see it. Yeah.
It's a selfie camera. It's a little difficult.
Yeah.
I can sit here and just move it like this. Here you go. See it all. Yeah.
Like she's actually sitting on my left right now.
Y'all didn't know that. You heard it first. Live on Pin the Gas. Love it, man. And then Alan says, TT next year. Are you coming? Man, mate, it's absolutely in my cards. It's always been a dream of mine. I'm that lunatic fan. I want to be literally 6 inches from the track when Michael Dunlop just goes, bam, right by you. You're like, holy shit. I just shit myself, but it was the best ever, right? Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I would definitely love to go watch, but I would never ever do that. I mean, I would ride it for sure, but not balls to the wall. Leisure, street ride for sure. Let's do it. On the scooter,
come on, maybe. Chris, you're a legend. You get on there, you'll do 2 laps. You're like, no, I'm going to go faster. I'm gonna go a little faster.
No, I've seen those guys crash, and
that's like
that one.
No.
Chris, you've had bodywork go around there.
Yeah, that's true. I've sent some bodywork. That's
JHS ran it. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice, man. Absolutely.
That's pretty neat.
Dude, legend. Dude, you're a legend.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got a guy right now that wants a fender and a hugger that's going to go over to Ireland on an RS660. So that's pretty neat.
Oh, sweet.
That's
those guys.
Awesome. What's his name?
What's his name?
Yeah.
It starts with a D. Daria or something. I don't. Don't ask again.
I won't. cheers to that, right? Let's have a drink on that one.
I don't remember. Shit's gonna suck.
I don't pay attention to names as long as I get the address and the money. I'm good.
Yeah,
Right? Absolutely. Yeah. So I went to. Have you ever seen a British Superbike race? Like, have you been over there in the UK, Beth or Chris?
No.
You should. Absolutely, you should. For real. It's just like anything, right? Cadwell Park. I already assume you know what Cadwell is, but the mountain jump, Chris, when you see it in real life, you're like, holy shit, you got to be kidding me right now. They full blown fucking send it.
Yeah, I even watched the MotoGP, all those tracks I would love to go to. What's the one in Australia, the famous one that
Phillip Island?
Phillip Island, yeah.
Yep.
That Jack is good at. I would love to go there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just to be able to go around a track, you can see the ocean off the cliff. That's pretty neat.
Our headbutt a seagull like Andre Iannone did.
Oh yeah.
Nobody will forget that, right? That was absolutely amazing. So, Chris and Beth, let me ask you two this: since you guys watch MotoGP, Beth probably not so much, right? Who's your favorite rider in GP right now?
Well, for me, I mean, I've been following Martin. I'm rooting for him. Of course, he got kind of shit on here lately, but I still think he can win a championship. I'm rooting for him, and I'm actually kind of glad that Marc Marquez is doing well. I'm glad to see him not crashing every damn weekend. You know, as hard as he's trying, because that's what I really liked about him. Like that Honda was so far down on power, so far down on everything, but he rode the piss out of it. Even though he crashed it, but he still tried like hell, you know. I like that guy.
Oh
yeah. He I actually met Marquez and he signed my pit pass this year from MotoGP. You know, dude, be honest with you, I'm a huge Rossi fan. To me, he's the GOAT, the absolute fucking legend of the sport. Not because
we're all Rossi fans for sure.
Right. So during that time, of course, you disliked Marc Marquez because of the rivalry, right? Just like when Stoner and Rossi and Lorenzo and Rossi. But after Rossi retired, Chris and Beth, I find myself, I'm a fan of everybody. And the people that I didn't agree with, I see them in a different way now, right? Because I'm not stuck in that VR46 bubble because we all were, just let's be honest. And dude, I respect Marc Marquez so much now. All the trials and tribulations, the crashes he's had to come back to be a satellite rider from a full factory Honda rider, right? And then kick ass. And now everybody already knows he's on a factory Ducati next year, right? And Nea Bastianini's on KTM along with Maverick Vinales, which blew my mind this morning when I got up at 4:15 this morning. I look at my phone, I said, "Shut the fuck up, bam, share!" Like no way, right?
In all honesty, that doesn't surprise me at all. Didn't surprise me one bit because Aleix retiring, Martin's coming in, Maverick, God love him, he's fast on his day, but his days don't line up very often. And Martin and they might all be buddies, but Martin's South Spain dude, and he's a hothead, and Maverick doesn't do well with that. So, man, I want to know who's going to get the seat with Martin now. Who's going to get that seat?
On the Aprilia?
Yeah. Because Jack's out of a job.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, I think Jack's ready to retire anyways.
I heard he's got an opportunity in World Superbike. Yeah, dude, I'd love to see him in America. Jackass in America. Are you kidding me?
But
I think he would be a good drinking buddy for sure.
Oh,
yes, dude, in a barbecue? Come on, man. Let's go.
Put his ass on a bagger and make Ducati get him on a bike to come race here.
Bro, dude, you said the best thing I've heard all day. Put fucking Jack Miller on a bagger, bro. Done. Facts. The championship is over.
Oh God. As much as I'm friends with Hayden and that whole team, and I love that dude, and I've been watching him since he was 14 and 15 racing. If Jack Miller showed up, shit, it's over. It's over.
Matt Hall said that the rumor mill is, I heard that he might go to HRC too, but man, I just don't
I hope
him
not.
To go to HRC. Me too. Man.
HRC can't piss off themselves right now.
Facts, right?
Yeah.
It's but the other rider that I really follow a lot that's up and coming is, I call him Baby Jeebus, Pedro Acosta. He's an absolute animal, right? And what I love about him, Chris, is he's like, I ain't here to make friends. Fuck all you guys. Like, I'm here to beat everybody's ass. I'm like, yes, finally, we got somebody in the sport, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hug and kiss. We want to see that.
We've been following Pedro since the Red Bull Rookie Cup, and that was the same year that Rocco Landers went over there.
Yeah.
Of course, Pedro just smashed the field. And, you know, the times that Rocco, it was during COVID stuff, 2020, Rocco wasn't up to speed, and that was kind of disappointing to see. But yeah, we've been following Pedro ever since. Even though he had that first year of Moto2, he had a bad year, a couple of crashes and stuff. But the second year, he just blew him away. And now he's on the MotoGP. I do love the kid, but I'm still rooting for Martin.
Yeah.
This is my Pedro Acosta picture I got signed at Coda this year.
Nice.
Yep. And then I had a bunch of the riders sign on the back of it. I was like, shit, I ain't got nothing else. Here, y'all sign the back of this for me. My buddy's like, you really gonna do that?
Put it on a spin.
Yeah, dude.
Let it spin.
Who gives a shit? Yeah, there you go. I just put on and just like turn around, right? Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, dude. I think, and I've been telling people this, man. When he gets into the class and he finds his feet, it's going to be a lot of trouble for everybody. I mean, it already is right now.
Well, that gas team is going. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I just like his riding style. You know, he takes a lot of different lines. He does a lot of different stuff. He rides the front wheel hard as fuck, and I love that.
Yes.
And I think in the next couple of years, he's in the championship and he's doing really well. But I think in the next couple of years, he'll be on top for sure.
Oh yeah,
100%. 100%. And of course, everybody anxious to see Marquez on. And I tell people, man, I'm like, look, he's on the Grassini, he's there. On the full factory bike, he's still going to be there, right? He's not going to fall off, and he's going to win. I think he's going to win this year. I believe Marc Marquez will win this year on the Grassini bike. Oh, excuse me, for sure. Look, Daniel, what do you think, Daniel? Are you constipated, Daniel, or what?
I mean, I might be. I don't know yet. Hang on.
Beth, you need to send him some medicine. Beth got something for you, Daniel. I got you.
Yes, we'll bring a suppository to Talladega next time.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, God.
Just make sure you spit on it before you pump it.
She's like, here's your dispository, Daniel. You're like, wait a minute.
I walked into that. Holy shit.
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't see factory Ducati letting Mark win on a bike that isn't great. I just don't see it. Like they didn't let Martin win last year.
Yeah,
That was weird. That race. So, but I just the way Pecco rode it in Mugello, I don't see anybody really touching him if he can stick with it.
Yeah. No,
Just take off
man.
Control.
I have no opinion.
Chris says, I plead the fifth on this one.
You know, but Marquez, he'll surprise you. You never know. He'll come out of nowhere and he'll probably win everything. Who knows?
And I'm 100% happy if he does it. But I just don't see it until next year.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to happen this year for sure. Absolutely, I do. So, yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. But listen, dude, we've been an hour in this. I've had so much fun. I hope you guys have too.
Oh, God. The parties at the track. This is tame. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't have any whiskey. We're not doing shots.
No, we're not doing shots. There's no
trying to be a little bit, mostly sober on this.
I mean, we could change that. We could take a minute break and go in there and grab some shots. I am down for real.
There is a refrigerator right here.
I'm just saying. You know what? I will go give you a shot for real.
Go get you one.
I'll be right back. Daniel, you got this.
I got it. Get out of here. Oh Lord.
Hey, is Becky and them having a track day this weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
I was about to ask if you were coming up.
At NCM?
Yeah.
Maybe. The bike's still apart. I'll probably have to borrow something or whatever.
You got Monster Jam next weekend.
Oh, we got Monster Jam next weekend.
I'd probably rather.
Is it Sunday?
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
You gotta take
It's
the
whatever.
nephew.
You gotta go to
Monster
Monster Jam.
You gotta take the nephew to Monster Jam, dude. Yeah, it's like, but there's another one tail end of July, so that's like right before Barber in July. The Weir race in July, so. But yeah, if you need to come up, holler at me. You got a spot.
Is this a commercial break?
No, this is what happens when he walks off to go get whiskey. So
Talk to him.
who knocked some? Was that who was that?
Chris in this metal chair.
Oh, it's the blue chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. So, do you have a paint scheme in mind for the new bodywork that since you're redoing the bike?
New paint scheme in mind.
For my bike?
Yeah, since you're redoing it again.
No, I'll keep it the blue and black that I got it now.
Okay.
But no, that upper, like I said, it's completely different, man. I've like it's never like the 660 has never had like a proper ram air hole in front of it.
Yeah,
and it's just never been like any of the manufacturers that's making that bodywork right now. It doesn't have that proper inlet hole, and it doesn't hook up to the ram air tube for the air box. Like even the stuff I've seen, Brandon and then Mike's and Spicer's bikes and even some of the other guys' bikes, like it's just not proper in the front.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to do. And even though like Ryan at Carbon Smith, he makes his own air box and induction tube, and even like the Gabbro guy over in UK, they make all of their stuff, but it just doesn't. It's what I have to keep in mind. It's so like I have to keep in mind like the track day guys, or like the guys that are just getting into racing where they run like the stock parts, the stock air tube.
Yeah,
like you have to keep those guys in mind when I build this bodywork, because they want to be able to take it out of the box and put it on the motorcycle. So if you buy, so like if I was to build the bodywork for,
keep talking, he'll be back.
But if I build the bodywork for like those different air tubes, then it's completely useless for like the average racer guys. So that's what I'm doing is I want to build like the proper air inlet for like the stock tube and, for all the stock mounts and all that stuff. And
yeah.
And it's going to be pretty neat, and it's going to be a little bit wider, make it wider for the handlebars, more aerodynamics. And I'm changing the rake of the windscreen too.
Okay.
Because it's so low and it's hard to get behind the bubble of that thing. And then also the bigger radiator. So it's going to have like bigger vents on the side because these things like to overheat and run hot. I got all of that. Like the bodywork itself now is just completely useless all around in general.
Yeah.
And anybody that has an RS660 can probably agree.
Yeah. Like I remember, oh God, was it Bittner I was talking to that he was running into like I think it was either him or no, it was the Brown boy, the Chase Brown. He was running into it at Barber that first year they had his. It was overheating and that kind of stuff on top of the ECU being weird. But yeah, there were because like, and then the Garvers too. There he is.
I'm back. I don't know what happened.
But yeah, the Garvers are running into it too. So, but yeah, no, that'd be sweet. Like I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and then I mean, once I get it all done, I'll just paint it back the same way as I got it.
Okay,
there's no sense of changing it.
Gotcha.
So,
BB number one.
BB number one. That's it, right? Dial Brinkley says, hello, my dudes, Chris and Chris, right? Yeah, absolutely. He said, let's fucking go. And then he says, Dial smoking a blunt, so enjoy them shots. That's fucking hilarious. And then Trevor Watson. What is up, Trevor? He says the
Trevor.
champ is here. That's right. For the Red Rocket.
Red Rocket.
Rocket.
Yeah, oh God, that night. Oh Jesus. Oh fuck that.
He says
night.
Ram Airhole was Shoemake's nickname in high school.
God damn.
Oh shit, that was fucking awesome, dude. Say that so, Daniel.
Can't win.
Good Lord.
I can't win with these people.
No, you cannot. But we love you, Daniel. That's why. You already know.
Oh, I'm not worried about it.
Trevor actually says, anyway, but are you thinking about going back to Suzuki on the GSX-8, Chris?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I approached Chris Ulrich about the situation, and he never really gave me an answer back. So I don't want to buy one, and I could probably rent one, or I can work an agreement out with him. But it just depends on if they're going to do it again next year. Who knows? But as far as like the 8R came around, it was Suzuki that pushed it more than anything. Because they knew it was coming out and they wanted it to be on the national level. And of course, Ulrich and his guys are top notch, and they figured out how to do it. And I was able to help out with the body work and everything, but it was who's that guy?
That's Miyagi.
But yeah, it was Suzuki that pushed the issue on that. And I mean, I would love to. I'd love to ride it. I almost got to ride it when Rossi got hurt in Atlanta. Almost filled in, but they didn't get the bike back together in time when he went through turn one under the air fence and everything. They had to replace the frame and everything on it. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested, but I just can't afford it to buy one and build one.
Yeah, they're
sounds like Honda needs to bring the homologate the Hornet.
Well, I've kind of been checking into that, and I don't think Honda has plans to bring it here to the U.S.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I don't know.
It would.
Of course, I've been on Trevor about it. Old Red Rocket won't give me any information on it.
Oh, he just said, dude, the Hornet ain't coming. Boo. Come on, Trevor. Let's make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen. Dow said was going to ask what happened at GNF last year. Almost some.
Oh, God. Anyway.
No, forget what he said. Anyway, okay. We'll say that one for next time then.
That's a cover.
Talking about the award ceremony drama.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care to talk about it. I was actually playing around and called somebody a cheater, and somebody got butt hurt and got it in my face, and we'll leave it at that if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about it for sure.
I've lost a lot of friends at the racetrack, and that's fine over some of the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've always been able to help people with body work, paint jobs, building stuff, whatever. I've done a lot of stuff for free, painting helmets, and I've done things to try to be equal. And, sometimes we all get drunk and, we pick around and say things and try to be funny, and, people get butt hurt, and we just lose friendships that way. And that's fine. I only see them at the racetrack anyways. And it's just kind of like, well, there they are. We just don't say nothing to each other, and it's awkward, but whatever. I don't care.
Beth's just over there, just smiling, looking away, like, yeah.
Well, listen, I feel more embarrassed, that stuff kind of happens in front of her, because she's a nice, like I said, she's a better person than all of us put together, and sometimes 100%. I show my ass, and I feel bad more than anything that she has to watch it.
She's like, oh shit, here he goes again.
Damn it.
I can't take you nowhere, Chris.
Well, there's probably a lot of times that she should go like, honey, she doesn't. She lets me make an ass of myself, and that's how we end up.
Facts. 100%. That's awesome. But so listen, I got my shot. So Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Beth. Cheers, Daniel.
Daniel's
like
petting his
it.
cat.
No, he's over here.
Dude, you almost made me spit all over my computer when I took that shot.
Fucking Trevor.
Oh my God. That was fucking hilarious. Trevor says, fuck them if they can't take a joke. You're right, man. Like, listen, life's too short, man. This is what I tell everybody, Chris and Beth. Listen, life's so short that this is a challenge I give everybody. Whether it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes out of every day, our lives are so busy. We never stop just for that short period of time to enjoy the moment wherever you're at, whether you're at the racetrack or here right now, you're at work, wherever. Just stop for a minute, 30 seconds, whatever it is, and enjoy the moment that you're in, because it's something you can't stop, you can't rewind, you can't fast forward. It's something you can never take back. So enjoy the moment. It's very important.
Bro, look, I'm late in life, man. I'm 47 years old doing this stuff, and I used to be worried about that kind of stuff. I used to be worried about image, but I mean, I all of my shit is paid for except for my house, and I'll still make body work. I don't care if I sell it or not, but I'll still make money, and I'll still keep racing, and I'll still keep making friends faster than I'll lose them. So I'm not worried about it. You can't. I definitely agree with.
You can't.
And if I got her to tolerate me and allow me to keep doing this, and she keeps putting it up with for whatever reason I don't understand, but so I'll keep going.
You're a good woman, Beth. I don't see how you do it, but you're a good woman. No,
stronger than all
of
us.
Said it 100 times. She's a much better person than all of us put together.
Yeah.
I love it. It's funny. Billy Pedro says, "Enjoy the ride." Zoom, zoom, baby. You right.
That's right. Yeah, he was saying that last night. I was watching.
Yep. I know. I appreciate it. It's an absolute honor. Dude, Pedro is awesome. He and I love doing this, obviously. And what I love about the most is, man, when I have you guys on and I meet you in real life, but I've already met you and Beth twice, and it's been that's why when I seen you in Wisconsin, I come straight up. I was like, bro, we need to schedule this podcast. And he was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. I said, yes, let's go, yeah. And thank you for the shirt.
To be honest with you, I've been in a much better mood at the racetrack these days because this RS has been so much better to ride. Even though we had engine problems at Atlanta, it was just so much better to ride. It's easier to work on. I don't want to set it on fire because I actually like it, and it looks good. So the reason why I went ahead and agreed to it, and I didn't do it before because I'd just been angry and I just didn't feel like talking about racing and stuff. I didn't really have anything good to say, but these days are much better with the 660 and racing and everything. If that makes any kind of sense.
No, it does. And I told you this, it's an absolute honor to have you both on here, and I look forward to having you back on again in the future for sure. It don't even got to be like a podcast about you. We just talk shit about racing, MotoGP, and all that cool stuff.
Well, I don't mind talking shit about Daniel and his cat and Trevor and everybody.
Dude, okay, well, perfect. Absolutely. We'll definitely schedule another one. That's awesome.
It's definitely entertaining. It's definitely fun.
Yes, it is. And then we got Paul McKee, a good buddy of mine, says, Parrish, wear a legend, always pulling for you, brother. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
And then CRT. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Go, Greg.
What did Greg say?
It says CRT, Chef Racing Team. Chris and Beth are both top notch.
Good old Greg.
Greg's a good dude, man. I love that guy. He helps us out a lot. I've been riding endurance for him for the past couple of years. He's a good dude. I can't remember what I was going to talk about, but that we like I said, we do all of this on our own, and we do all the traveling. And I build the motorcycle, I make all of my stuff, and that's what makes it fun for us. Is we're able to do it by ourselves. And for the longest time, I even told her it's like I can't really remember the quotes, but things do, and actually work much better when you just do it on your own, because you don't have to depend on nobody else. And her and I was just able to do that.
I love it. It is. You're right. It's always a headache when you got to depend on other people. You're like, it's like me at work. I'm like, I tell somebody to do something and then I was like, fuck it, I'm just better off doing it myself, right? Like, I'll just do it and it'll be done with, and I'll do it right, and fuck it, I ain't got to worry about nothing else. Yeah, baby, go sit in the corner. You're in trouble. Yeah. Trevor says, "LOL, are you coming to NCM next weekend? I need a toe from the champ."
Shoot, I get a toe from him. Trevor, I've actually watched Trevor get fast. Like one of the first times at Bowling Green NCM, he wasn't doing like no better than like a 159 or like a 2-minute flat or something.
It's like 58s, 57, something like that. Yeah.
Now he's doing like 53s, 52s.
Yeah.
Homie's
he's
rolling.
Down.
Good. So Trevor is, you can't talk shit about him no more, because he actually went fast at Barber. Was it Barber that he was there?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he made the show no problem. Where like years before, he like barely made the show, or he didn't make the show.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't make it at Road Atlanta the first year we went down, and then we made it at Barber, and then the year we didn't make it was the year that everybody broke the track record by like a second and a half. Yeah. If it had been the previous year, we'd have been fine. But literally, they dropped it from like a 24 at Road Atlanta, like a 23 or a 22 on a stop down. It was something crazy. And that bike, God love it. We're so down on power on that bike, but I mean, he does it.
Say if we can get him a new motorcycle, he'll be good.
Yeah, it'd be great. There were conversations had. I don't know anything about them. I know conversations had been had about a newer bike, but again, I don't know if that they went anywhere. But yeah, I mean, if he could get on a new Triple R, he'd be a lot further up the front. But
tell him just start an OnlyFans and tell him to put the shorty shorts on. He'll make some money.
Put them thongs on, baby. Let's go. I bet you got some Honda ones.
I mean, hey, look.
He fucking put some suspenders on with his Speedos.
Yeah,
fucking bring in some cash, I'm sure.
Or at least feet pick something. You got it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Grow the Hulk Hogan mustache out and do it. Pay for that bike in a week.
Facts, right?
Oh,
to the Old Town Road.
Or tightening the
river dancing with a stash.
The porn stash. Trevor says definitely can't depend on Robert putting gas in my bike.
Oh shit. Or checking to make sure the steering head nut's tight either.
You gotta have that and the gas.
Oh god,
right? Yeah.
Literally, this was last year at Barber. He's complaining about chatter the whole weekend. Like, just it's chattered everywhere. This, that, and the other thing. We're about to load the bike up, and he touches it, and it just spins. We're just like, oh my god! I was like, how the hell did we not check that shit? I was like, what's going on? Like, it was.
I don't trust Robert at all.
Dude, yeah, no. God love him, no.
Not even being the water boy.
Oh, he'll bring beer. He's really good at that.
There you go.
Robert really is a good salesman.
Oh yeah, he's really yes. He can do that very well.
Oh, God, I love it. Thomas says, "Thanks for the hugger. We will be rocking it on the RRRR." Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's Roebling. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Tommy's
a buddy.
Dude, Tommy helped me out at Road Atlanta. With that 660, we had a front end issues, and it was getting into the radiator. Some of the other things I didn't know about that nobody told me about the 660, and ended up rubbing a hole in the radiator. And Tommy let me borrow one. He actually let me borrow it for Atlanta, Barber, and then a couple more weeks. So that dude's cool. Appreciate it, Tommy.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, that's awesome. I got a buddy of mine in BSB that's getting ready. He just got a brand new RRR Honda, so I'm excited to see how he goes on it. They're a beautiful machine. they're just so expensive, right? All the BMWs and
Oh, God.
it's not like it was back in the day, Chris. You know, when we were growing up.
Oh, God, here comes the old man yells at
Here
clouds.
comes the old man talk, right? Listen, dude, when I bought my Verse ZX6R back in 1996, it was like $6,000 out the door. That was it, right? Now a brand new, well, when they had the R6, they were what, 12, 14 grand?
12 and a half, 13.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. It is. It really is. And again, the SV was 4.
Yeah, $4,500, $5 grand.
Right. Yeah. And more fun on it than the bigger bikes.
Yeah, I think I bought a new one in 07. It was $4,500.
Yeah.
Plus tax.
I think Moto America would benefit if they had like a cheap, proper class like that again, right?
I heard rumors the Junior Cup is going to a spec bike next year, like a spec 400, and I think you have to get it through Moto America or something like that. I think Chorus mentioned that, but I mean, no racing.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's less expensive ways to go racing, but no racing's ever cheap. If you want cheap racing, buy an Xbox. But
I know they're wanting to. Aprilia is wanting to try to introduce their 400 into it. Was it like a 420?
It's a 457 or something like that.
Yeah, 457. Yeah.
I mean, if they could do it where, if you could do it like a horsepower cap, or like a power to weight ratio cap, and have a way of policing that, then all for it. But I mean, there's all sorts of ways to get around that. Like the old school 883 days, you put a little plastic tab on a throttle tube and they dyno test it. And they'd get to the stop. Oh, makes the 55 horsepower. You get on the grid and yank it real hard, break it. Now you're at 80 horsepower. You're like, all right, cool, let's go. So,
sounds like the old Cup days. Put duct tape over the air filter to get past the dyno. And then, hey, let's go.
Good old days.
Absolutely.
If they're going to come out with a spec class, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's the rumor. At least that's what Cora told me. But again, they might change their mind.
Cora's a legend too, for sure.
Oh, God.
Trevor says you can't even buy a dirt bike for under 12 grand. That's a fact, dude.
Nope,
it's retarded.
Nope.
I mean, absolutely. He also says, but Dunlop and MA is still going to charge you every time you hit the track. 500, please. 500, please. 500, please. I digressed.
Yep. Good old Dunlop tires.
Yeah, I would love to see like tire wars in Moto America. Bring Pirellis and Bridgestones and all that in.
You jump on Pirelli's going to like take over for qualifying, and then they might fall on their face at the end of the race.
Well, they're doing good in Moto 3 and Moto 2 this year, which I'm glad to see.
I have a sneaking suspicion Pirelli's going to take the tire contract once Michelin's gone.
Oh yeah, for sure. MotoGP, I think the same thing.
Yeah,
100%. I think it's good for the sport.
And then Pirelli's going to have World Superbike, British Superbike, MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, and Formula One.
I'm pretty sure they're in ASBK too.
Yeah. You don't like the Pirellis?
No, I just rode Pirellis on Daniel's bike at CMP.
Yeah.
I mean, the rear's fine. The front sucks.
Oh, just not stiff enough, or?
Well, it's just, I've ridden the Dunlops for so long. I mean, for me, it's predictable. Like that front Pirelli, even though I would give, like, since riding at CMP, CMP is really bumpy, especially through like the fast kink. The Pirellis are really forgiving that way because it's a soft carcass. But that front tire, it just, like, once it really goes away, it just, like, it will never come back. As far as, like, if you push it.
Yeah.
Going through a turn and stuff. Like, but, like, the Dunlop, you can push that thing all day long and it's still there. But going over the bumps, it's a little bit stiffer carcass. It's not forgiving. Like, it'll shake your teeth sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, you can push that front tire forever. We've ridden many, many hours. Hell, we've done 8-hour endurances on one front tire of a Dunlop. And you never had a problem, 6 hours and stuff. But like that, I don't know. I just couldn't get over how that once that front tire falls off, like you push it, like it just keeps pushing towards the grass. I'm going, come on, man.
Come back. Yeah, no.
How cool would it be to run the Pirelli rear and a Dunlop front?
Shit, they were doing it in the early days of Superbike.
You know, even though the rear tire, like it's once it falls off, it's like really, it's like riding on a worn rain tire, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's so soft, like it just no traction, and it just kind of squishes away. Where the Dunlop, like the rear Dunlop, once it feathers, it it's feathered. But if it's still good, like it still has like traction all the way until the cords will show.
So what I'm gathering is the real Pirelli's like a melting ice cream cone, right? It just melts and melts and melts, and it just
unless you get one of those cheap like ice cream sandwiches that never melt.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever seen those? We've got some cheap ice cream bars in the freezer for the kids when her niece and nephew that come over, and I put one out in a Tupperware for 2 weeks and it never melted. It actually started growing fur. But the reason is because it's oil based, like contraption or whatever it is. So anybody out there that you've got cheap ice cream bars in the freeze, do that.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
That's gross.
Yeah, I'm good on that. But I don't eat a bunch of sweets anyway.
I killed him for the ice cream bar.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. I'm like,
that hurt my heart. Oh,
yeah.
Beth, I'm gonna have to come see you. Shit.
Right. Yeah, right. We're on our way, Beth. We need to go to the hospital. We need that feel good medicine right now.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Hey, water.
Awesome. Yeah, right. I love it, dude. I love it. Look, man, we've been on this for almost an hour and 40 minutes. It feels like we've been on here for 20. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So, Beth, what is up? I see you back there smiling. Look, I can't even talk. Let me ask you this, Beth. What's your favorite track you go to?
Oh, well, I have to say Barber because that's the first track I ever went to. So I like that one.
I've never been.
And the bathrooms are
nice. And the showers, I assume that they got decent shower facilities there.
They do.
So yeah, just back to the story of her first time going to the racetrack. We were hanging out. I can't really remember how long ago. It was like during the week we were hanging out, and I asked her if she wanted to go to the racetrack, and she was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" She didn't even know that. Did you know that I race motorcycle? I think she knew.
And
this is around the Rob Turner Kinetic endurance days, and I ended up buying one of his old endurance bikes, and I kind of made it my own. And I asked her one weekend do you want to go to the racetrack? And she's like, I guess, let's go, And so I had an Astro van. I had a work Astro van. Of course, I emptied it out. I put the bike in it, put a tent in it, and all of our stuff. And got to almost pulling into the racetrack at Barber. And
I know this story.
I was running low on cash as far as like in my pocket, because I did check and I was like, holy crap, I forgot to go to the ATM. And so I asked her if she can get in the back of the van. And she was like, why? And I'm like, well, I'll just tell you later. So we got through the gate, got set up and stuff. And I finally told her the story that I just didn't have the money to pay for her to get into the gate. And she didn't mind. She's been a real trooper about it ever since.
I have an addendum to that. So
I've not seen many entrances to racetracks because
the truth comes out now, Chris. She's like, yeah, I always go in the back when we pull up. He's like, hurry up, get in the back, girl. Put the blanket over.
So my first ever weekend racing, my t-shirt weekend. Mom, Dad, everybody's down there with me. Mom's like, where's Beth at? I saw Chris. I didn't see Beth when I came up. I'm like, no, Beth's here. I was just talking to her. She's like, I didn't see her in the van. I'm like, Mom, calm down. She's here. just to go talk to Beth. She's right over there. And
She's
then she goes,
asleep in the back.
yeah, she was back in like she's literally in the back of the van asleep. It's like Mom's like, where's Beth? I'm like, Mom, she hides back there in the back. So yeah, so it's like mom, even Mom fell for it. And she was in the paddock.
That's awesome. I love it. Trevor says snuck her into the drive-in movies. Shh, babe, get in the back. I'll let you out the trunk.
Right.
Yeah, I promise I'll let you out the trunk. 5 more minutes, babe. Hold up. You're not getting your treat.
That's what she
buddy.
loves about Moto America, though. She doesn't have to sneak in. She's always able to not have to sneak in.
And then Michael Hill finds her, and she's like, "Nope."
Yeah. Hold on. I'm walking away. Hide me real quick.
Yeah, Michael Hill likes to find her now. Mike came by to the tent at Road America and stood and talked with us for like 20 minutes or so, and then told him the story about how she kind of ducks from him. But he actually came down pit lane while we were at our session and found her and made her talk to him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good, because I'm friends with Michael Hill, and I'm gonna call him up and be like, Mike, do me a favor when you go and Chris in there, go seek Beth out. He's like, I will. Let's go.
Oh no, he did that, and then he'll go find Erica too, Ryan's mom, because that's fun.
Facts on that. So Trevor Watson actually has 2 questions for you.
Oh Lord.
And Trevor, some of these are my questions, man. No, I'm just joking. Ask away. So Trevor says, hey Chris, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite book, Chris? And celebrity crush.
When's the last time you read a book?
I don't know when the last time I read a book.
Okay, well, let me ask you this audio book. So everybody, I'm a big audio book listener too.
I read the RS660 owner's manual.
That don't count, man. Service.
No, that counts. Damn it.
That does. Okay. For Chris Parrish, I'll let you slide on that. That's absolutely. There you go. The RS660 owner's manual.
And I know you'll probably ask about like audiobooks later, but the last audiobook I listened to was with her, 50 Shades of Grey, while we were going racing somewhere. If that's, and you know what? It didn't suck.
No, it's not horrible.
Right?
Well, the only reason why the guy gets away with it is because he's rich. If he was a guy, if he was a broke dude like
I wouldn't like seek it out and listen to it by myself, but you know, she wanted to listen to it. It was all right, actually. But
the only reason why that works, the guy's rich.
But I'm a Sandra Bullock fan. I've always loved her, man. 100%. That would be my kitchen pass.
Nice. And Beth, who's your kitchen pass? You got to have one. We have. I got one. My wife's got one. We all got one. Who's yours?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think it's Ryan Reynolds. Am I right?
I don't know. I honestly
come on.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that by her emotions and that facial expression.
You got her embarrassed.
There's a little truth. Yeah, that's a little truth to that. So Ryan Reynolds as it is, right? Yeah. Deadpool. Absolutely awesome. Oh, I love it, man. Good stuff. Yeah, so just going back to the audiobooks, like I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Matter of fact, the last one, I'm actually listening to Stuart Baker's Valentine. He's got a biography on Valentino Rossi. But the last one I listened to, not read, was by Stuart Baker. It was The Ragged Edge. It's all about the Isle of Man TT. Not just the good stuff, but, you know, people dying and passing away and all the stuff that goes along with it. It's a really, really good book. But a book I always tell people and I recommend is John Hopkins' Leathered. It's absolutely the best autobiography motorcycle racer book I've ever listened to, because he's honest and he leaves it all out there. Chrissy and Beth, he's talking about going back to his camper, smoking weed, and then jumping on the MotoGP bike and racing it. And I was like, holy shit, like you would never hear, let's say, for example, John McGuinness, right? He would never say, yeah, me and my buddy went out there and hit the bowl a couple times and I got on the TT bike and fucking won, right? Absolutely not. But John Hopkins lays it all out there, and it just sucks you and draws you in. It's an absolute good book.
Yeah,
Beth, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say I could never do that. Like I've never smoked weed, so I don't understand how they do that kind of stuff. I am a beer drinker, but there's no way I can like have a beer and go race a motorcycle. I'd be like way too paranoid, of everything. And I'm paranoid as it is, on sober weekends.
However many that is, but yes, I am what I am. Yeah.
But there's no way that I can do it. We definitely need to listen to that. That'd be a good one to listen to on it. Because we do actually while we're traveling down the road, we do a lot of Dateline, and we do a lot of Bob's Burgers and movies and weird stuff.
I like it.
So there's one that I do recommend is that have you guys ever heard of like the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good book. Like it's an entire series. I think 3 or 4 books or something.
3. I've got all 3 of them.
Yeah, with the dragon tattoo.
So good.
That was a pretty neat story.
Didn't they have a movie about that?
They did.
They had a movie. Yeah.
Made a movie about the first book. Yep.
There is it's a European one, and it's got the she's been in a lot over here. You'll recognize her when you see her. But they did all 3 books. They did all 3 movies for each. They did a movie for each book. You just got to find it on Amazon. Like turn subtitles on, but they were actually closer to the books in those movies than the one that we got here with Daniel Craig. So they're on there. You just got to dig a little bit.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah. So Beth, let me ask you this: books. What are you currently reading or listening to now?
I'm reading a series of Court and Thorn and Roses series, but I'm not really a reader. I just pick up one every once in a while.
So my wife, she don't really. Okay, she does read some, but she's more into. God damn it, the crime podcast, the murder podcast, and all that shit, right? Dude, that's all. I'm like, what are you listening to? Or like, I'll jump in my car. Everything's fucking Bluetooth now, so I'll jump in my car. If my wife drove it last time, and she's in here, I cut it on. Whatever she's listening to comes on, and it's just like, oh, and he stabbed her to death and all this. I was like, what the fuck are you listening to, right? She's like, oh, that's my true crime shit. I'm like, turn that shit off. Like, yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah.
I listen to the true crime podcast when I run. I don't know why, but it makes me run better.
You heard it, true crime? Yeah. I bet it does, right?
Like somebody sneezing. Oh my God!
He's like, babe, I need some of my own medicine. Go to the hospital in my office for me, please. Over here. Here's my badge. Get whatever you want. I need it. Anyway, stuff, man. That's awesome. So listen, man. This has been a lot of fun. I want to ask you guys some personal questions. Which we kind of already have, but listen, let me ask, these questions are for both of you, right? What is your worst habit?
Wait a minute, say that again. You cut out.
What is your worst habit?
I would say mine is being superstitious. I'm a very superstitious person, and it's rough sometimes.
I pick my nose too much.
I'm digging for gold over here. I'm gonna get one day. Oh, there it is. I could buy
you said the worst habit. That's probably the worst habit that I can have. Is I mean, I work by myself in the garage, and I'm always picking my nose because number one, I work with fiberglass and sand and dust and paint, so you gotta breathe. So the fingers in there just carving out snowmen, whatever will come out. And
he's like, my brain itches. Hold up, I got this.
That's great. That's cool.
The inside of my eyeball itches, babe. Watch this. I got a magic trick for y'all. Check this one out. I love it. And listen, Trevor Watson says
you get irritable. I mean, it's got to come out. It's
right. You're like, what'd you say, babe? Here, hold this for me. She's like, you asshole. Trevor Watson says if somebody was chasing Daniel, it would be with nail clippers, big toe looking fool.
Good God.
That's hilarious.
My friends.
You gotta love them, right? If they didn't know you that well to talk shit, they're not really your friends.
Exactly.
100%. So listen, Beth and Chris, let me ask you two this. Tell us something we do not know about you at all.
Oh, Lord.
Lord, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
There's got to be
open.
something.
I can't think of anything. I don't keep a lot of secrets.
Beth, you can answer this for him if you want to.
Can't do anything.
Okay. So you don't. Okay. Well,
We'll get back to you on that one.
okay, yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely come back
Put
to
that in
that
the
one.
liner notes.
I got a check mark beside it with a little circle, so I can come back to it. This one's for you, Chris. If you had your own private island with your house and you best live there, right? What's the one racetrack you would have on your island?
Well, I mean, my favorite in this country is Barber for sure. Just because it's fun, it's technical, and you gotta work at it to go around it fast for sure. Barber, yeah. I haven't. I wish I would. I can afford to go around the world to some of these tracks that we see. Maybe someday, but yeah, Barber.
I love it.
I probably would add a jump somewhere.
Catwell Park. You got to add it. Yes, you got to.
Why not? Put a jump like make the jump bigger going into the museum. That would be kind of cool.
Full stadium
curb down into the
stadium super trucks at Barber. That's what we need.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know if the 660's got enough suspension travel to do that, but
I mean,
I got a supermoto. I'll let you. I got a supermoto. I'll let you ride.
We'll figure it out how to make it work.
Oh yeah.
Facts. We will definitely figure out how to jump it. Let me ask both of you this: who is y'all's favorite comedian?
I mean, I'm an Adam Sandler fan. Love that guy.
Goat.
Just because he's raw.
He is.
I got nothing for you.
I love all of his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. You ain't nobody, Beth? No comedian at all? None.
I can't think of any.
Oh, boo. Okay.
Boo. That's what I say. Boo. We need some medicine up in here. Boo. Nah. Let me I ask everybody this: Star Wars or Star Trek?
Yeah, I've heard you ask those questions before. For me, I watched a lot of Star Trek. I think Trevor's kind of said the same thing. If it was him, I watched a lot of Star Trek when I was a kid, just because it was like the Seinfeld back in the day, all the reruns. But I never latched on to Star Wars. I never did, man. I really liked the original, the first one, but that's as far as I went.
Yeah. Beth, what about you? Are you a Star Trek or a Star Wars girl?
I'm gonna say Star Wars.
And what character would Beth be? Yeah, what character? Beth, come on now. What character would you be in Star Wars? Come on now. You got to give it to us.
She's like, I don't know. I'm trying to get out of this conversation.
Right. Beth's like, you know what? I'm about done with this podcast.
Okay, I sit and I listen. I'm not a talker.
The original Princess Leia's was sexy. I love those earmuffs that she had.
Right, the big ones. Yes. Facts, 100%.
She had honey buns on each side, right?
Yep,
she did. Honey buns.
Carrie Fisher had a medicine cabinet like Beth's got at work.
Yes, she did. 100%. Love it, man. So listen, are you guys a pineapple on pizza type of person?
Yes.
That's it.
Beth?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't
Do you
care
guys
anyway.
like spicy food? Yeah, I love pineapple on pizza. Facts.
I mean, if you put some jalapenos on it, it makes it even better for me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm a spice guy, 110% spicy guy. I like. So, did you guys watch the hot ones on YouTube? Have you ever seen the hot ones on YouTube? All right, dude,
What
Chris and Beth, you got to check it out. So this guy, I forget his name, but he interviews movie stars, and he's got 10 chicken wings, hot wings, going from your regular Texas Pete to like 3.5 million Scoville. So he interviews the guests as they're eating hot wings, and they get hotter and hotter and hotter. So it's actually funny, but I buy the Last Dab hot sauce. It's 3.2 million Scoville. So I like heat. Not all the time, but I like heat, right? Did you guys like spice too? Best like
mild, very mild.
She likes them mild. I will say this. I like spicy food. I love jalapenos, but I don't like all the hot sauces. All right. And the reason why is I just don't like the way they taste. And I've tried them all. Don't get me right. It's like eating tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes, but I've tried them. And a couple other things like Brussels sprouts. I've tried it. I just don't like it. But for me, I love Tabasco sauce. Tabasco sauce is hot enough, and it can get hot, but it just has a really good taste to it. I love hot stuff, but like even like some, when you go to like a chicken wing place, like some of their hot sauces are really hot, but they also just taste like crap. So it's just, that's why I love Poorhouse down the road. They got the best hot sauce. JB's Poorhouse, come on down. We'll take you over there for some chicken wings and beer.
Yeah,
on Thursday nights because they're wing nights.
Listen, I'm gonna take you up on that because I plan on coming down and spending the weekend with Daniel anyway.
Tonight, we'll go down there because it's chicken wings night.
Okay, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'll be on my way for sure.
He'll be there, and he'll be here in the morning.
I'll be there at like 4 a.m. Yeah, facts. Rossi, get in the car. Let's go. Because I have to bring him too.
Well, they'll let the dog in too. Yeah, come on.
And dude, speaking of animals, I got my baby girl right here, Charlie. There she is. She's always with me. Do you guys have any animals?
Not anymore.
Best like I do. He's sitting right here.
We do have a cat. We have a cat that's outside somewhere.
She said, "I let the monkey out the garage."
We got a shitty red cat that hangs out that we feed. She's just kind of a stray piece of shit that eats for free. No, we did have a little winger dog named Dapple that I had when I met her. Then she basically stole the dog from me, which is fine because she fed it. And then Dapple lasted until a few years ago.
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah,
16.
she lived until she was 16. 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we just had to put her down. But I've always told her she can have anything that she wants because I don't like animals because I don't want to. But she can have whatever she wants.
She's like, I already got one at you. Like I said, the monkey in the garage. All I got to do is feed him beer and take him to the races, and we're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, I do pick my nose, so I have to stay out in the garage.
Right. So. Boogers all over the wall. You're like, look, this. You see this one right here? This was back in 1982. I picked this one right here. This is a good one.
Like that bubblegum wall in Seattle.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Trevor Watson said we can do hot ones next weekend. I got the bomb and most of them right now. Trevor, you already know I told you I am down, brother. 110%. I'll definitely do it. Yeah, I ate some the other day when Nikki made tacos last night, as a matter of fact. And I'm in there with the Last Dab, and she's like, "Oh God, here you go." So real quick story. As far as the hottest thing I've ever eaten, my buddy, because he knows I like hot shit, he buys the Death Nut peanuts, I think is what it was called. This has been several years ago, and they were 13 million Scoville each. So he's like, "Look, you got to eat all 6 at one time." So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm down the hatch." Right? Absolute mistake. Chris and Beth, my taste buds were fucked up for 2 weeks. Okay. And for the next 3 or 4 days, when I went to the bathroom, I was literally crying right? Like worst pain ever. And I would tell my wife, I'd be like, hey, go get the last dab hot sauce for me and a spoon. And she's like, what the fuck are you gonna do with hot sauce? You're naked on the toilet crying with a fan in front of you. I was like, because I need to eat the hottest thing I can in my mouth. Hopefully it'll take it away the pain from my butt. And she's like, I think you're the most retarded human being I've ever seen in my life right now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Meanwhile, well, he was on the toilet so bad because the lining in his stomach was on the way out. So, I mean, jeez.
Dude, it was, won't do that shit again. I'll tell you that. Absolutely not.
That sounds like a pretty shitty situation, man. That's
bro.
It's just
bro,
a whole shit.
I wish I was friends with Beth then. I'd be like, Beth, I need you to send me some, please.
I mean, a suppository probably would have cleaned it out a little bit faster, you know.
I mean, hey, I'd have been at that time on point for them 3 days. I'd have done whatever it took. Trust me.
I mean, instead of spitting on the suppository, just put mayonnaise on it. It goes in a little bit faster.
Or some mayonnaise. Anybody got any mayonnaise?
God.
Oh, I love it, dude. This is good.
Oh, that's great.
Freaking love it, man. Oh shit! So listen.
I don't know where that came from.
Oh, it's great.
That's a good one. We got to write that one down.
It really was. Oh man. So listen, you two, are you guys like watching anything on Netflix or Apple TV or anything right now? Together?
You
not together.
She watches mostly Nick. No.
She said not together.
Bob's Burgers is on Netflix.
Yes, it is. It just showed back up.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, Beth, let me ask you this. Me and my wife, we're watching, God damn it. I forgot the name of it, but I'm sure she's probably standing out here going, you dumb motherfucker, or she'll text me here in a minute. What? Right? So, Beth, what are you currently watching on Netflix, and what can you recommend to people out here listening?
Right now I'm watching Bridgerton. It's okay. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it's okay.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Just try to get me into The Handmaid's Tale. I didn't really like that.
That's a good one.
That is
I heard that was great. I haven't watched it, but my wife keeps telling me you need to watch it because she says I'm a big conspiracy. Like, because I question every fucking thing. They're like, well, this and this, and I'm like, well, how do you know? Oh, because I read it here and there. I'm like, well, who's the author of that, and how does he know? Like, I'm that type of guy. My wife's like, God damn it, here we go. Don't ask my husband shit unless it's motorcycles. Other than that, don't ask him nothing because he's gonna turn into this why and how and all this other shit. So yeah, that's just me personally. Me and my son, we're watching that new Star Wars one that just come out, the Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet.
It's good, man. It's really good. So I spend a lot of time with my son. So Chris and Beth, I named my son Hayden Rossi after Nikki Hayden Valentino. Which is a funny story. Of course, I wanted to name him Valentina, right? And my wife was like, fuck no, what did you smoking dope? You goofy, man. It'll be made fun of. And I was like, well, how about Hayden Rossi after Nikki? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So when I first met Steve Moore, Rossi Moore's dad, when I was like, hey, I'd love to have Rossi on, because when I reach out to the teenagers, I always reach out to their parents first just to ask them permission. Hey, I'm Simcoe from Penn. I'd love to have your son or your daughter on, right? I just think it's the right thing to do. So we get in this whole spiel, and I was like, how did you come up with the name Rossi? And he's like, oh, we was at the hospital and I wanted to name him Valentina. My wife was like, fuck no. I was like, dude, shut up. Because, dude, me and my wife said the same thing. And she looked at me like I was fucking absolutely not, right? So, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. He said, Trevor Watson said, where the fuck did this show just go? Now we're putting up mayo up our butts. Hey, if you eat those 13 million Scoville peanuts, yeah, you're gonna wish you had an ice cream. That cheap ass ice cream they're talking about, a sandwich, boom, like a tampon right there, baby.
I'll put a little bit of mayonnaise on it. He'll be fine.
There you go. And if you want to add some Jello with it too, why not? I mean,
oh Jesus, fucking Willy Wonka over here.
Oh my God, dude. This is great. I fucking love it. So listen, are you guys into, Chris, are you into any other sports? Like, do you watch football, baseball, or anything?
Currently, no. she's a big hockey fan.
Mhm.
Her and her parents have been since. What was the first year that the Predators started playing?
This is their 25th year.
So they've been, and they're on the wall of Loyal Legion at the hockey arena. They've been season ticket holders to the Predators since day one. So we follow hockey a lot during the wintertime. But that's about it. Now, I used to be really big into wrestling, back in high school. And then a handful of years ago, one of the coaches came to me and asked me to help out with the team. So I actually went and coached wrestling. Maybe that's part of like the one thing that people don't know about me is that I coached wrestling for 4 years. I actually watched a group of kids grow up for the 4 years of high school, and that was pretty neat. And I really enjoyed that, traveled around with them and teaching them doing that kind of stuff. And that's how I'm kind of independent also. Back to the whole like doing shit by myself. I've learned all that, through the whole wrestling gig. In fact, it kind of makes sense.
No, absolutely it does. And, I like hockey too. I just recently got into it. My buddy Britt, he's a huge hockey fan, right? So I was actually invited by Allstate, invited me as their VIP guest to this hockey game. They wanted to talk business, Pendergast and all this shit. So I was like, yeah, let's do it, right? Absolutely. And I had VIP like floor seats, like it's right here when the hockey players like bam right up against it, and I was going absolutely ape shit. I had no idea I was gonna have so much fun. I'm screaming, I'm like, kick his ass, yes, let's fucking go, right? All this shit. I had a ball, and then all of a sudden they start throwing shit on an ice ring. I'm looking around, there's hats and bottles. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is this, right? So I was like, I almost took my hat off, and then I looked at it, I was like, nah, I ain't throwing my hat out there. Fuck that, right? I'm just gonna watch. But it was absolutely a good time for sure. So it's something that
I've never really understand that whole hat trick thing too. When everybody throws their hats on it because you never see it again.
Well,
they get donated, right?
You get 3 goals. You get a hat trick, so you throw your hats on the ice. In Nashville, they donate all them to the Mission, the homeless shelter.
But still, you lose your hat though.
Yeah, you do lose.
That's why I took my hat off and looked at it. And Chris was like, fuck that. I'm putting that back on. Yeah. My Pendergast hat. Fuck no. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah.
Well, Nashville, you got to watch out. You might catch a catfish too. So,
That's true too. Catfish.
Yep.
I love that commercial where the guy's in his car and he's got a catfish on his belly and he's wrapping saran wrap around him.
Yep.
Try to sneak in that catfish. I'm like, that's awesome. Yep. As long as you can stand that smell for a couple hours, you're good.
Ooh, buddy.
My luck that nobody would score, and I'd be stuck with this thing. I'm like, great, now I got to drive home with this damn catfish. Like, what the fuck?
You'd be stinking like hell. They'd be like, we can't sit next to this fucking guy right here. Holy shit.
And I got this, what the shit?
They'd be giving you money, Daniel, thinking you're homeless. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
You go
take a shower. I'll be all right.
He probably would carry his cat with him, too. Like, I got to feed my cat.
I don't think Miyagi's going to want that shit.
I fucking love it. Oh, my God. So, Chris, let me ask you this, dude. Do you have any like superstitions as far as preparing for race? Like, do you put your left boot on before your right boot, or is there a certain type of music you listen to hype you up before a race? Or run us through your routine.
No, she's the superstitious one. She definitely does. She's even started singing Britney Spears here lately. No, Taylor Swift. Is that one of the damn songs?
Yes, you just get stuck.
No, I'm not superstitious. I mean, I just, all of us racers and all of them has said it before. We all have our routine of like getting dressed and where we get dressed and what we eat and stuff. It's nothing routine. It's just like, it's nothing superstitious. It's routine because we need to make sure we eat on time, we get dressed on time, and if we do the same pattern over and over and over, that means that we're getting shit done in time to be on the motorcycle, to be on the racetrack, and be prepared and all that stuff. So no superstition, but I do the steps the same time every time.
I love it. And Beth, we got to hear the song. You got to sing. Let's hear it.
No, trust me, you do not want to hear it.
We need another shot. Chris, give her another shot. We need another beer in her. We got to get her singing. Oh, man, I love it. Well, I tell you what, when I come out there, we'll have to go to karaoke.
Oh, God. We can do that.
We can go to the Russell and take a karaoke.
We're going to sit back, drink, and make fun of everybody else doing it. That's how I do karaoke.
That's how I do karaoke. I watch him.
This month.
Yeah, I'm usually the one at the bar doing shots, and it's like, well, fuck it, let's go sing something.
Right? Put on some Sublime, goddammit, let's go. Trevor said chili cook-off. Hey, I'm down with that too.
Oh,
look,
Jesus.
Is there a story behind the chili cook-off?
Oh, there's a few. So the chili cook-off, it's the end of the year party for the track day organization we all ride with here in Bowling Green up at NCM. And at the end of the year, they have a raffle and they have a chili cook-off, and they have a raffle giving away, boots and stuff. They had some pretty sick Hayden Gillum bagger, like poster-sized pictures and stuff. And once everybody gets done, Mike, one of the guys that coaches with us, that rides with us, and they bring the karaoke machine out. And that can get entertaining. And Jesus, how do I even put this politely? Everyone is well lubricated.
Just say it.
Everyone is well lubricated at that moment in time. And Chris taught us cooler surfing, walking around one night, and the pit bikes get taken out. Yep.
Best thing ever, man.
Oh, it's great. But Groms and such get brought out in the middle of the night in a racetrack that has a noise limit and at midnight, and things happen, and whatever. But it can be entertaining.
I love cooler surfing. That is the best game ever.
It is the best game ever.
Listen, what is cooler surfing? I have no idea what it is, but I want to play.
Yes.
I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
So it's, it's midnight. You don't really feel like going to bed. You're not going to ride tomorrow. You're kind of done for the weekend, and you just walk around. And if there's a cooler that's left outside, I mean, it's free game. You just open it up and see what's in it. Whether
grab
it's
a beer
sandwich,
and walk off.
But mostly you're looking for beer. And I would probably say about 7 out of 10 have beer in it. You just grab just one. All you need is just one. Don't take all of them. And you keep walking until you need another, and then you stop at the next cooler. And you just call it cooler surfing. It's the best thing ever. Now,
Barber's really good for that.
If you go back to your pits and you have finished your beer, you at least know where there's more beer. So you just go back.
Yeah,
that's right. I love it. Listen, Trevor says, go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No.
Now you could be nice and leave a $5 beer in a cooler. It depends how many you take, but I've done that before.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Look, Trevor Watson said some would say I have the voice of an angel.
Yeah, he's the only one that says that.
Not me. Yeah.
Not anybody else other than him.
Did you see Trevor singing with that mustache?
Oh yeah.
Porn stash, dude, absolutely be hilarious. We got to get him on the mic.
He wears what's that 85's theme, the kind of white shorts with blue and pink on it with those zigzags,
he's definitely
palm trees and stuff. Don't he wear shorts like that? And his porn stash.
He looks like you ordered Magnum PI off Wish. So I mean, I let him try. I applaud him for trying. So,
Oh shit!
what do we do? You know?
Oh my god, that was good, Daniel. He
Hey,
said Magnum
Well, he
PI
rides
for
that
Wish.
red motorcycle like Magnum did with that red Corvette or Ferrari.
The
Whatever.
Ferrari,
Ferrari,
yeah.
whatever it was. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, he's actually about the same size as Tom Selleck. So I mean, Selleck they had to cut. They literally had to. Selleck was so tall for that car, they had to cut the seat rails out and bolt it to the floor so he'd fit. So I mean, anyway,
Trevor says that's the funniest shit you ever said.
no, it's not.
I thought it was pretty fucking hilarious.
I mean, it's funny, but that's not the funniest thing I've ever said.
Oh shit!
It might be the funniest thing I've ever said at his expense.
Oh my god, that made me cry. That was awesome. That was good. Oh man. So let me ask you this,
from
Chris.
Wish.
Yeah,
Magnum
from
got
Wish.
hit from Wish.
Like Wish or Temu, whichever. Like, take your pick. Alibaba, I don't know.
Oh my god.
No, that's what he's got to be for Halloween this year. He's got to wear that costume to the fucking cook-off.
100%.
Damn right.
Magnum.
100%.
Magnum PI. Where is the chili?
He's got to
cook-off
wear
at?
the. He needs to wear the palm tree shorts too.
So we have it's usually like the third weekend in October. So it's cool and
Yeah,
you get done and everybody goofs off and rides and we go eat and get drunk.
I'm gonna have to attend with y'all this year.
Come
for
on
sure.
with it.
I'm going to.
Come on down.
Absolutely, I am. I'm
You
going
know,
to.
I really have to say, like the NCM is the Corvette track in Bowling Green. It actually is a really decent track, and I would like to see some races happen there, even though like some Armco issues need to be dealt with. Fence would fix it, maybe a lot of tires, because I don't think the track is going to budge about moving the Armco, because it actually is pretty close in some of the fast turns. But it really is a nice track. I recommend it to a lot of people.
Yeah. They've tried to get Arma there. Wira has tried, but they run into the noise regulation. That's kind of relaxed, but Arma's tried for years. They've been trying for forever. And if they do it, yeah, we'll all be there, but it's just trying to get it to where they'll let us do it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they will, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait to
Chris,
come
you
out.
gotta come down, man.
I'm going to.
Hang out with us.
No, I will for sure, 110%. Now I'll get me and Daniel. I'll come stay with Daniel and his cat, and
Come on.
Yeah, we'll go cooler surfing, and we'll get Trevor down there and do some karaoke and we'll get drunk and surf and have to go see Beth at the hospital and get all her cool shit. So yeah, it's gonna be a fucking magical weekend.
Beth's gonna see us
We'll
coming,
never
like
forget.
she's gonna look at us like these fucking idiots.
She
No,
said, get the fuck
yeah.
out of here.
Go away.
You ain't coming to my hospital, hot damn it.
No. She's gonna tell us the wrong one.
Facts, right? But we've been driving for 45 minutes. She said it was
Maybe
15
we can all
away.
maybe all of us will do shots and get like palm tree shorts and kind of not fully streak, but halfway streak, through the hallways of her work while she's working. You think?
Oh,
Think
I
anybody
am
would get
all
mad
the
if we-
way.
I am
All the
100%
way.
in. We'll ride
go.
Groms through there.
Let's go.
We'll all get fake porn stashes and Hollywood shorts.
Yes.
Facts. I'm
Yes.
so in. I am so in. Oh my God, this is awesome.
Beth's
So
like,
listen-
oh my God, why did I agree to do this?
Right. Trevor Watson said, "You think KFC is still open?"
Oh no! Oh God!
Yeah.
Jesus! Oh God!
Joe Fisher says, "Oh yeah, I'm in. I have the Groms."
Yeah, he
dude,
does. Yeah, he
I wanna
does.
get in the Grom. They taught me into getting a Grom. I was actually leaning towards the CF Moto, but
Get the
I'm gonna
Grom.
buy a Grom. I'm gonna buy a 2024, I think, brand new, and be done with it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some parts here. I'm gonna start making body work for the Grom here soon. So I'm gonna
Good.
start outfitting the country with the ghetto custom skins for the Grom.
Heck yeah! Let's go.
Well, when I get mine, Chris, I'm definitely gonna hit you up and be like, "I need mine custom ghettoed out." Absolutely. Absolutely, because I want to get one. I'd love to get your body work on it, your custom body work, and pin the gas it all up and all that cool stuff. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So let me ask you this, Chris: out of all the bikes you've ever raced or rode, what's your favorite bike?
Well, I mean, it's hands down the SV. The second gen SV 650 is always my favorite. I can go like back to the endurance bike, Greg's bike. I helped him develop that bike last year, and that thing is so easy to ride, but it's just, the power plant isn't like the engine just doesn't have enough power. But I wish I can get 100 horsepower in that bike because that bike is so planted to the ground. It's so fast and so easy to ride. So the second gen SV is my favorite bike. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. They're great bikes. My buddy had an SV 1000. I'm trying to think of the year. Was it 03?
Something like that.
Yeah, something
like 03
that.
to 06 or something like that.
Yeah, they only made them. It was an absolute nice bike. I loved riding it. I've been a big fan of V twins anyway, so yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So listen, let me ask you this, Chris and Beth, if you could choose one superpower in the world, what superpower would you choose?
I don't know. A way to grow money.
There we go. That works.
Dude, that's awesome, right? Yeah. Love it. And Beth, you. Dude, it's absolutely the greatest superpower. Grow money. There it is. Facts, right? What about you, Beth? If you had a superpower, what would you choose? Oh, you know. No. Come on now.
An automatic ass wiper.
They have one, a bidet, kind of, right?
That's one of the things she complains about, like, especially when it comes to old people at the hospital. And somebody's done shit on himself.
You should just get you a garden hose and go in there and spray his ass down.
I kid.
That's awesome. I love it, dude. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Listen, man, I've had a lot of fun. We've been on this for almost 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This has been an absolute. I know, dude. It goes by so quick. That's what happens when you're having fun. We're talking about alcohol and drinks and palm trees and OnlyFans and cooler surfing and mayonnaise and
Oh God,
all that good shit. Yeah, it's great stuff, man. Great stuff. So listen, I need you two to stay on with me, or three of y'all for a minute after we end this. So Chris, before we get off here, tell everybody where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you to get that best body work from Ghetto Customs in the world and all that good stuff. And Beth, what's the hospital you work at so everybody come see you too?
I'm in St. Thomas Midtown, downtown Nashville.
All right. I got to put my old man glasses on. I do want to give a bunch of shout outs to all of my sponsors and all the people that help me out, along with Daniel, him and Chris and his dad. They helped me out with fuel and oil filters. But hands down, Millennium Technologies, Cody and Jason there, those guys helped me out with all the engine stuff, all the surface work, K-Tech, Orient Express, Kendall, Skip, Rob, and those guys keep the suspension working for me. Ryan at Carver Smith, he's made a lot of parts for me, and he doesn't charge me for anything. Love that guy. Brandon at KYT, he's helped out, got me some lids. He's taking care of me. Scott at Moto D, love that guy. I talked to him on the phone. He's always got some cool stories from up north. Of course, Greg at CRT and Stick Boy. Stick Boy does too much for me, and he gives me so many discounts on tires. And he does a lot of free swapping and stuff. He's always got great stories, even though he's rocking a really bad haircut these days. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, it's bad.
Go ahead and cut.
Oh, it's bad.
Look, I finally got a haircut, homie. Just go ahead and get your shit cut.
Shit, I did.
But Johnson at VL2 Leathers, thanks for him, man. He's always giving me gloves and gives me great prices on suits, and they always look really good. Paul at Gen Speed, that dude, he's always giving me great support. Even when I was working with Andy, he's up in Minnesota. He does a really lot of help with, and he's giving me great advice about business stuff and shipping. They help me out with FedEx. Love that guy. Brandon at Power Sports Supply. Everybody knows Brandon. Brandon's that dude will help. He will help a stranger on the side of the road if he had a chance to. Gets all of my OEM parts for me to help me build engines, and he did a lot to help me build this 660. There was a lot of parts he had in his shop that he wasn't even using. He was like, "Here, just take these, put these on your bike, get your bike running." And love my guys, Eric Reed, Travis, Joe, and Deb. And I want to give a shout out to Chris Ulrich at Team Hammer, the M4 guys, him and John, and all the guys in the shop. They, even if I'm at the track, he's got a trailer full of parts. If I ever need anything, those guys always help me out. If I need any kind of advice or questions, those dudes help me out a lot. And even with some engine work, they've given me advice and stuff. Like I said, I do a lot of the stuff on my own, so I depend on all these guys that help me out. Even just like phone calls and just simple things. Like there's a lot of people that do help me, and I'm so thankful for all those guys. And thanks for having me on, man. We appreciate it. I know this has ran really long, but hell, dude, I've had fun. I love it,
bro. Absolute honor to have you on. I can't wait to have you back on, you and Beth again. And this time we'll get Beth to talk a little bit more, maybe sing some karaoke.
Beth's like, I ain't coming back on this shit.
She's like,
go
fuck
away.
that. Hell no. I'm going to be in the other room listening to my book. Forget y'all fools. Yeah, forget that. Absolute amazing. But yes, listen, I got to give my shout outs. Thank you so much, Daniel. You always know I love you so much. You too, Chris. Thank you. It's been an absolute honor to have you on. Beth, you too as well. Of course, Bison. You guys looking for a suit? Pendergast 2024, 10% off everything at Bison. Big shout out to my buddy Jake Marsh and the whole RD racing team out there in BSB. They're racing this weekend. All my mates in BSB, listen, I wish you the best luck. Let's fucking go, right? Same thing with Moto America. I got friends in ASBK and World Superbike racing this weekend. So I wish all my friends nothing but the best luck, and I'll be cheering for every single one of you guys. Big shout out to the Clothing King. So all my mates over there in the UK, they make my clothes out there. You can go to clothingking.co.uk, get all your Pendergast merch over there in the UK. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Chef Eats, man. I know you guys heard about Chef Eats, right? You guys, if you're missing out, that's all I'm gonna say. ChefEats.com. You can thank me, Chris, and Daniel, and everybody else later. SFL Mini GP, best race organization for up and coming kids. Even if you're old like us and you never drug your knee, listen, SFL Mini GP is absolutely the place to go. You don't even have to have a bike, leathers, boots, helmet, nothing. You just register, show up, and they provide everything for you. So big shout out to them. And last but not least, Vet2Track. For all my veterans out there, listen, vet2track.com. Look them up. They're absolutely amazing. They'll get you out there on a bike and be around a race team. You're around like-minded people that love the same thing, right? So you guys should do Trevor. You guys go Vet2Track. I gotta put this out there. Trevor Watson said Daniel's neck loves Chef Eats desserts. Oh my God, dude. Trevor, I fucking love you, man, for sure. Look, he's like, fuck you guys. Last but not least, listen.
Red Rocket.
Red Rocket. I love it. Listen, one more thing. Flying Eyes Optics. These sunglasses right here, I've been wearing them for since Road America, so however long that's been, 2 weeks, whatever. These right here, they're made to go up underneath your motorcycle helmet, and everybody's wore glasses underneath your motorcycle helmets, and after a while it puts pressure on your temples, you get headaches and blah, 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 blah. These are actually made in Austin, Texas, all American, and they're absolutely amazing sunglasses. If I didn't believe them, I damn sure wouldn't be talking about it right now. But you guys can use the discount code PinTheGas10, get 10% off. You guys should check them out. If you see me, I will have these. I will pass them around. You guys can wear them, try them, grom them out, chili cook-off, whatever it is. Absolutely. So, yes, listen, guys, nothing but love to everybody that watches this podcast. If you have not yet, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. We're on everywhere but Apple right now. This is why I'm selling my RC51 so I get a new laptop so I can get an Apple, because this old MacBook Air I have won't allow me to do the new update. Basically, Chris, when I try to publish it to Apple, it basically should have said, "You cheap bastard, buy a new laptop," right? It just said your laptop's too old to do this update, so it won't work, right? So I'm a cheap bastard, apparently, by Apple, right? So, yes.
Well, I mean,
let's just
Apple
be honest,
standards
right?
is a whole other thing.
It is facts, right? But listen, guys, thank you guys so much. This episode will be out on Spotify, iHeart, like I said, everywhere but Apple tomorrow. If you missed it and didn't catch the whole thing, as soon as I end this, you can go right back on Facebook, rewatch it, and YouTube. But again, it's an absolute honor to have the legend Chris and Beth Parrish up in the podcast. Thank you guys so much. Daniel, we will see you guys. You guys have a great weekend, and yeah, we'll see you soon. All right, let me end this.